Look who's on time. And with on time, I mean the timer ran out. I go here. A little bigger. So today, no string theory. Oh, this is going to be awesome. Also today, no PoE 2 because yesterday fucked me so up. I really hated it. And it's not that the game was bad. Especially not the gameplay. I like to do it. It's so enjoyable to play. But the game gave me such headaches. Especially with the not being able to click on things because something in their UI got messed up. That was horrible. And of course the driver fiasco. If you have to stop your stream, uninstall your drivers, and install a way older driver, and then restart everything again. What is this? They should have warned all AMD users beforehand. Because they knew that problem existed, because they literally had a warning message in the game. I loaded in the game and I got the warning message. That, you know, oh, your drivers will cause massive long loading screens. Please install a driver outside of, then they give a driver version number, actually between two numbers. And I had to go way back. Way back. Well, not way back. September. September release. But still, this was so bad. And then you are in the game and you can't click things. Because I don't know what's going on there. How they make the things clickable. If it's an overlay on top of everything, and that moved a little bit, which made it hard to use anything, or if it's tied to the cursor and they only have the standard cursor size, maybe that's the problem. I don't know. What if a German girl beat you at a game you're good at? I don't know. Time to date her? Man, German girls. And while we are at German girls, explaining the nose ring theory. Thanks for the setup, Hans. You're going straight into it because, man, this is going to be retarded. This is going to be retarded. Really retarded. I love it.
I will explain everything I've learned about this theory, show you some examples, and then give you my 2 cents on this whole thing. So to take you on the journey that I went down to get here, I'll show you the video that I first saw that introduced me to this whole thing.
So I'm 24 years old, and I've been trying my hand at dating men, specifically, for probably about 5-6 years.
We already know, right? We already know what the problem is here, right? Everything here
Now, in a series.
tells me that she's crazy. She's crazy, she's stupid. Run away. Now, as a object for your lust, she might be good. I mean, she's very obviously not fat, so she has that going for it, so you can use her. And looking at her face, that's the only thing she's good for. Why do I say it? Because all the piercings, they tell me that she's dumb and annoying. But that's the entire point of the video, so we have to simmer it down a little bit. You realize whenever a German guy speaks German, it sounded his planning world domination. Well, yeah, I can see why you would think that, yeah.
Way. I'm single at the moment. My boyfriend and I just broke up recently, and I have probably dated about like 4 to 5 men, seriously. Keep running into the same issues every single time I date a man, and I've been trying to like really get to the root of what it is. And now I know what you're thinking, you probably have a type. I do not have a type. These men don't know each other, they're not friends, they're not from the same area.
That's not what it means to have a type, you retard. Them being friends doesn't mean, you know, men can be friends even if they aren't the same type of person, right? Is she really? Wow. I mean, I knew she was dumb, but I didn't know she was this dumb. You are not planning on having a girlfriend because it will lose you 50% of your freedom? Yeah. Most likely more. So she doesn't even understand the concept of having a type. She doesn't even understand that concept. How stupid do you have to be to not understand what having a type means? And you probably can't buy what you want. Yeah.
They don't look alike. I really do not have a type. The only thing that these men have in common is that they are men. I really have been reflecting a lot and trying to figure out what like the root of all these issues is. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect, but I'm not the reason that any of these relationships ended. One of the main...
Wait, what?
Reflecting a lot and trying to figure out what like the root of all these issues is. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect, but I'm not the reason that any of these relationships ended.
Oh, well, you are the common, what is it, denominator? You were in all these relationships and they all ended. Shouldn't that make you think? She probably has hormones imbalance. Well, basically all women in the Western world have that because they take contraceptions which destroy the hormonal household. They drink stuff out of plastic bottles which give off chemicals into what's in them that act like, well, estrogen in your body. And then they... Oh, what else was there? Yeah, just generally hormones in everything. And then on top of that, they have an unhealthy diet, even if they are thin. That also, you know, makes them bitchy.
One of the main issues that I've come to recognize is that I don't think men are really socialized to know what it means to truly love someone. Like love.
Oh my god, you are so dumb. No, it's because you are annoying and crazy. How do I know it? The way she looks. The way she looks.
Of their partner and care for their partner. Obviously, I'm not saying...
The exact opposite is these days the case. Men are the only ones that know how to take care of anyone. Because women don't want to do that anymore. Because, ooh, it's oppression. Oh Jesus, I'm already getting angry.
This is all men. But I think it's just not normalized for them to like, I don't know, just like, I guess I don't know how to phrase it. What I'm saying, for example, is that every single one of these men individually has looked me in my eyes and told me that I am the love of their life, I'm the most important person in their life, that they would take a bullet for me, and every single one of them has treated me horribly, okay?
So you have a type. People that treat you badly. By the way, we only have her word. And what does it mean, treating her horribly? What does she mean by that? Because we can't take woman's word for anything these days. Horribly might be They didn't want me to have sex with my dog. How dare them? You know? If you don't like men, then men won't. Yes. Yes. That's correct. And women will... Well, actually, women like men that don't like women. Women are crazy. You literally saw a girl break with her boyfriend with a helmet made with a garment. It looks like medical night helmet. What? I don't get your sentence, Hans. Sorry.
I don't know about you, but when I tell somebody they're the love of my life and that they're the person I care about the most, I show it. I'm treating them accordingly. Part of it that really trips me up is that they believe it. They actually believe in their heart that I'm the love of their life and I'm the person they care about the most. I start calling it out. I would be like, you do not love me and you do not care about me. Like, point blank, period. Otherwise, you wouldn't be treating me badly. And they will argue and they get genuinely, offended. They get offended. I honestly pity them because I don't think they're socialized to know what that means. And, I don't know how to get it across in a meaningful way to them. They just don't listen. And I'll be like, okay, you wouldn't have done this bad thing to me if you actually loved me in the way that you say you do. That is not what love is. That's not what love is. When you love someone, you don't do things to intentionally or even unintentionally hurt them.
She has not given one example. Not one. So we don't know what she's talking about. Isn't that something very curious?
Why is that considered love to you? I'm just I don't know where it's coming from. I honestly pity them because that has to be awful, but I can't handle it anymore, dude.
So in this video, this girl is describing her troubles with finding a good man. She insists that she doesn't have a type, that none of these men really have anything in common, but for some reason in the end, they always end up treating her horribly. And this led many in the comments to speculate that it must be something about her that is the common denominator. And
well, yeah. No shit. By the way, she does good content. Actually entertaining and educational. About, men and their behaviors.
Fortunately, since it's such a short TikTok video and we don't really get much insight onto greater parts of her personality, and she's not very open about what her most major flaws are to figure out why she's attracting such mean men or why her relationships are always driven to turmoil, people began...
She most likely comes from a single mother household. That's very likely. And I totally go off on what she said and how she looks. And because, I grew up in a single mother household. I was surrounded by single mothers and their children. It's not a good environment. There's all kinds of craziness that's getting bred in there.
To theorize, because it's one of the most noticeable things about her, that it could potentially have to do with the amount of piercings she has. Yeah. In fact, these two comments right next to each other say, the piercing theory is so true, with over 700 likes. And again, don't know, don't care, nose ring theory, with over 1,200 likes. So you might be wondering, like I did, what about having a bunch of metal in your face would cause someone to treat you poorly? I mean, sure, the style isn't everyone's type, but these men were clearly attracted enough to her to date her, so...
To her face and body. And the hair. That all looks nice, but the nose rings never look nice. Never.
So then what is it that's causing the relationships to not go well? So I decided to look into what these men were referencing when they talked about the piercing theory or the nose ring theory. And this was the top video I found.
Have y'all ever heard of the septum piercing theory? If you have a septum piercing, you may not want to look it up, but I'm always the last person to hear about shit. So this is common knowledge. It's dead ass. It's actually dead ass. Because
is it?
It says that every person that has a septum piercing makes their trauma their entire personality.
Yeah, I can 100% see that. 100%. And sorry that I'm moving myself around on the screen all the time. I try to be at least in the way as possible.
And she agrees? It's dead ass.
And one thing, especially here in Germany, I have seen it, that at least, no, not at least one, everyone with a septum piercing is lower class. It's literally a poor people thing. It's not even a poor people thing. It's stupid poor people thing. I've never seen anyone that's worth something having a nose ring. Have you? I didn't.
Like I said, dead ass.
Damn, straight from the horse's mouth. Or maybe I should say straight from the bull's mouth. You know, because you get it. And
Yeah.
if even the person with...
I get it. For the ones that don't get it. For the people that only grew up in cities and have no idea how anything outside of the city works. Back in the day, and even sometimes today, farm animals have nose rings. Because that's where they were being led on back in the day. That's just how it is. Well, it was.
The nose ring is saying it's true. I mean, there's gotta be something there. And this is just even more hilarious when we take that theory and then reference back to the first video where the girl was making her relationship trauma her entire personality. Okay, that might have been a little reductive. After all, it was just one video. Surely her entire profile isn't like that.
Yo, you guys never told me how cool it is to have a dad. Like, this is a secret that's been kept from me.
So she... Is she just saying that she didn't have to have a dad? Because, remember, I said that earlier.
Okay, I grew up with 3 moms. My mommy issues...
Okay, yeah, that's the explanation. We have the explanation. No father, 3 moms. That's the result. Yeah. We don't even need to look any further. Yeah, that's it. That's everything.
are off the charts.
Okay, sure. I mean, so maybe she doesn't have a dad and has a ton of self-proclaimed mommy issues, but that doesn't mean trauma's her entire personality.
I have psoriasis. Not like a little psoriasis, like all over my entire body. When I tell you, my whole body looks like this.
Okay, so she has a bit of medical trauma too, but I mean, there's more to her.
Nothing normal can ever happen to me. I think I attract chaos.
Okay, so attracting chaos, it might be a little red flag, but I mean, there's gotta be something normal here.
Not to be a man-hater or anything.
Looking at her eye, oh, hopefully, makeup. Yeah, she's absolutely crazy. She's the type of woman you see in modern, in corn of today. That's in really, really rough stuff, like being slapped around and stuff like that, getting, you know, the real nasty stuff, the stuff the feminists say are anti-woman, but they're watching it. That's what she would be in. That's how she looks.
Actually, no, fully to be a man-hater. Fully to be a man-hater.
Oh, okay, I guess she also just doesn't like men. I mean, you could have brought that up
Yeah, I could tell from the first video.
when you were theorizing on why your relationships with men might be going poorly. I'm starting to connect the dots. Now, when I
Funny is, she is
first started looking at
starting connecting the dots. I had the full picture in the first 10 seconds. Because I know. I just know. I just know. I have too much life experience with crazy people. Because I was one. So I know. I know.
into nose ring theory, I didn't think that I would take it seriously at all. I thought it would just be a good laugh. But the more I looked into it, the more I think that it might actually hold some weight, because I did find quite a number of studies that have strong correlations between individuals with a lot of piercings and tattoos and how they are perceived and who they attract. This study seems to indicate that people with piercings and tattoos scored significantly higher than those without for sensation-seeking and risk-taking behavior.
Who could have guessed? Who could have guessed? Well, with the exception of everyone that's not retarded. You suddenly build contingency plans for the future. Just don't be around those kinds of people. Then you're fine.
This other study that I found seems to indicate that people with piercings and tattoos, specifically women, scored significantly higher for extroversion and assertiveness, meaning they are more aggressive socially. This study that I found in
Yeah, I mean, look at all the demonstrations, you know, where they swing the Palestine flags and the LGBTQ stuff. All women there look like that. They're all crazy. I mean, it's not... This is not a secret. Everyone knows this. Status and sexual attraction. Oh. Now, if she break up with me, I'm already... for it. Yeah, yeah. Which tattoo should you get on your face? Oh, Matty, don't, never. Never get a tattoo. That's bad. That's bad. And I know what I'm talking about. I have a tattoo, and I regret it. I got it in my 20s when I was really, really depressive. That was not a good time. And I even got scammed with it. You never wanted one? Yeah, good. Very good. Very, very good. I think I've never met someone with tattoos that wasn't, you know, Meshuggah.
Psychology Today examines how people with tattoos and piercings are perceived, and the most popular finding was that they are perceived to be more sexually promiscuous, and that they tend to attract people who are looking for more casual relationships than serious ones.
Because they are. It's because they are. That's why you should never date a woman that has tattoos. On top of her just being crazy. And for the ones who are attacking me for this, right? I dated women with tattoos. That's why I know it. How many possibilities is possible if I get a girlfriend? What? How possible is it that you will get a girlfriend? I don't know. Depends on how you look, how you dress, how you know, on a lot of things. How you're doing career-wise. You would rather save up for a new car. Good choice. Tattooed women wanna get with Jamal and Tyrone. Yes, then have kids with Jamal, Tyrone and Shad. And then want Robert to raise the kids and marry her. That's the type of woman we are talking about here. And you just have to look at them. They look nasty. They look totally nasty. You're pretty much an NPC. And older than... I don't get what you're writing there. Oh, you look older than your dad. Your keyboard is lagging. Yeah, I can see that. What did I want to say? Yeah, I say it again. I have never met people that had a lot of tattoos and piercings that weren't mentally ill. Doesn't mean people without tattoos can't be mentally ill, but if you have a lot of tattoos and piercings, it's a clear sign of mental illness. Man, I've seen and we have been told so much stuff.
And many other studies seem to point to people with piercings and tattoos having higher correlations with impulsivity and more experience with trauma and adversity. This study from BMC Psychology seemed to find a strong correlation between body modifications and people who experienced childhood abuse and neglect. And this one,
which isn't surprising, at all. When I remember back, the last girl I tried to date, got abused by her father, when I remember correctly. She has tattoos. My first girlfriend, she told me she got raped a lot of times. She had tattoos and is, crazy, kind of. My sister's crazy. My niece got abused as a child by her mother, aka my sister. She has tattoos. I got neglected and fight with depressions. I have a tattoo. I mean, isn't this 7 people, and I just came up with that, just out of nowhere. That easy. Lee. It's bad. That tattoo you got in your 20s, which ass cheek is it on? Thankfully on none. That would have been painful. If you didn't get a girlfriend, not gonna be surprised I look at the mirror and said, yep. My sisters have tattoos and none of those are crazy bitches. As far as you know. As far as you know, Matty. Yeah, that's the thing, as far as you know. You don't... I mean, I don't know your sisters, right? But you and I, we don't know what they do with their partners. In the bedroom, especially. And you especially don't wanna know. You don't know if your sisters got the gang together to bang them in a park. You don't know, and you don't wanna know. True, they couldn't be pegging their husbands daily. Oh, they are married. Okay. Good sisters. I say that until I hear otherwise.
really stood out to me. This one found a notable prevalence of individuals with a high number of body modifications and borderline personality disorder. Now,
is anybody here surprised? I am not. Not the slightest.
This is not to say that individuals with piercings and tattoos are all degenerate problem children.
Well, not all. But the number of those people is so significant that it becomes a stereotype. And whenever... Well, the thing is, the attention-seeking people of this, they go out and, seek attention. So that's what the people see. So that's how you get to the stereotype. Your sisters are most likely a minority, yeah. You wish you got a sister, Hans? Why? I can tell you, it's not that great. Well, to be fair, my sister is 13 years older than me. So we never actually lived together. But I can't remember it. We did live together for a while. I think maybe 1 year? Maybe. I actually don't know. I have zero memory of that.
Undeserving of love. I myself have a belly button piercing and an entire side piece, and I find myself to be pretty
well, a belly button piercing is well
adjusted and have had a lot of success.
A belly button piercing is very, 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 very tame. We are talking here of piercings, you know, in the face and all the ears and stuff like that. The nipples, you know, and the clitoris. Oh, man, imagine having your dick pierced. Nah. Nah, if you got a sister, you gotta be dead in the first day unborn. Man. Man. Nah. Nah. Don't need that. Yeah, it's the crazy people. It's always the crazy people. That's why, you know, I literally can't watch modern porn because the women there are so goddamn ugly. And then I watched, you know, some retro stuff from the 90s and the early 2000s where women, basically there are no women with tattoos and piercings. And when they are piercings, they are at places where, you know, they are fun. They are not in the face. And they kind of look good and all, but they don't look dirty like all this tattooed and pierced up woman. You think piercings and tattoos have something to do with cultural history too? It depends on the culture. In Germany, they don't. Like Celtic paint and decorations, Norse body paint and Germanic piercings and stuff. I don't even know about Germanic piercings. I know about paintings, body paintings, yes. You meant brother, not the other way. Okay. VHS corn, yeah. Yep. I remember when I was 16, I went into a adult store and got me a video. They thought I was older. They didn't even ask. But yeah, I looked a little older. But then again, you know, I was 16.
In my relationships. But it does beg the question, could there be any legitimacy to the nose ring theory, or is it mostly just something?
Of course there is. That's why it exists. People see something, they come up with a theory. You only talk to girls inside school? Yeah, I can see that. You miss the days of being able to buy 6 with a forged letter from my mom when you were 14, yeah. Yeah, I remember the times when the parents sent their children to the kiosk to buy beer and cigarettes, and no one was batting an eye. No one. That's just, you know, yeah, kids running errands for the children. And the thing is, the children wouldn't smoke or drink because they were 7. One of them literally saved you from being a 0 in a major activity. Oh boy. World was chill back then. Yeah. Very chill. Today, the world is basically a prison in the West. Especially America. You can barely do anything in America without being bothered by people. It's horrible. You literally, after work, you close your store, you sit on a bench waiting for your drive home, and you get arrested. I say that because that happened. And for a guy that worked at a 7-Eleven, I think. That's horrible. You just sit there and wait for your drive, you get arrested.
That jerks shout at people they disagree with online when they happen to have a nose ring. My ultimate conclusion? Probably both. Obviously, even with all of these studies and research papers, you're never going to be able to make a correct, sweeping blanket generalization about every one kind of person who looks a certain way. And
you don't need to. You don't need to. Of course, not every person. Of course. No one is saying that. It's just a majority. That's why stereotypes exist. It's fundamentally the majority. Not all, but the majority.
In the case of the first video we watched, where the girl is describing her issues with relationships with men, we know that people did at least initially find her very attractive, as she even cites at the end of the video that I cut off that both men and women have described completely falling in love with her. And when I first listened...
Oh, sure, she's bisexual too, yeah. Should have expected that. Of course she's... Yeah. She's probably also the one that getting abused in the relationships with woman. I can see that, yeah.
her story, I wasn't even making any judgments about her physical appearance. I was truly waiting for the other shoe to drop of when she was going to describe some consistent patterns of behavior that might lead to all of this correlation. In her case, I definitely think that being a vocal man-hater was probably the linchpin in the disruption in her relationships with men, but certainly not all women with piercings and tattoos feel that way. In fact, here are some examples of super pierced and tattooed girls in very happy relationships with men.
Jesus. Oh, you know, the coochie is crazy. He probably stuffs all the holes. You know that just by looking at her. Dude, he just looks like a normal dude and she's just like, you know, completely a freak.
What is this? What is this, please?
Also, it's so funny how they always go for the nerdy gamer guys. But this is what makes the nose ring theory so complex, because if the first video were to be enough to prove that it's accurate, then all of these other videos should be enough to disprove it.
The thing is, they don't disprove it, they are just some women that aren't totally crazy. As far as we know. These are just some things that we see. It's not that we see, you know, how they behave behind closed doors. Because we have seen behavior they show in the public. And in the public, I mean on the internet. To get some attention. So yeah. No. The nose ring theory is true because there are so many crazy people that have nose rings. It's not because the nose ring make the people crazy. It's crazy people who have nose rings. If they wouldn't have, there wouldn't be crazy people having nose rings, then this video wouldn't exist. It's very, very simple.
Right? At the end of the day, the nose ring theory is just that. A theory, an idea worth discussing. Is it true that people with a lot of tattoos and piercings tend to be a bit more rebellious, chaotic, and traumatized? Yeah, probably, but does it make them inherently undateable?
No one says that. No one says that. But it's most likely that they are undateable. For example, I would say I was undateable. Completely. Because I was fucked in the head. Thankfully, that's mostly over. Mostly.
No. Some of them are. Some of them are absolutely undateable, but not all of them. As with most things, it's a case-by-case scenario, and it's always more important to pay attention to how a person behaves or what they believe in than it is.
Someone in chat said, I went out with a German girl. She had a nose ring and leg tattoos. Bitch was crazy, but fucking fire in bed. Yes, of course she was, because she is crazy. Crazy women are great in the bed sheets. They are awesome for that. But a lot of people know that. So they are being used for that. So they have a lot of dicks. So you have to be... You never not use a condom. You only not use a condom if you're married. That was the one rule that I always had. Already when I was 12 years old. Yeah, no sex without a condom until I'm married. And I stuck with that. Thank God.
Is to try and find secret clues in how they look or dress. Anyway, that has been my analysis on nose ring theory. If you liked my coverage, please drop a like on the video, consider subscribing. We are so close to the big 500,000, the big 500,000 subscribers, and drop any comments that you have on the subject down below, because that also helps boost me in the algorithm and grow my channel. And if you want even more from me than you can find here,
same for me, but my big 500 is literally 500. So subscribe and like, so I get to 500 subscribers.
Consider joining my Patreon at patreon.com/thedadvocate for early access to my videos, exclusive content, and exclusive merch that you can't get anywhere else. Thank you so much for watching all the way until the very end. I will catch you in the next one. Until soon.
Same. Nice editing and filming. Yeah, this was good. You got the girlfriend for 8 years now? Oh, Jesus. She's chill as... Oh, nice. Basically married without the documents. But no children, I guess. Which is the only reason to be with a woman, in my eyes. You got no girlfriend, but at least you got absolute freedom. Do you though? I don't have a girlfriend. I'm not free. I'm way too poor for that. You don't want kids? Man, that's the one thing I always wanted. A bunch of children. And now after I've watched this video, I finally can watch all the reacts from all the VTubers I watch. You do have big popper energy, thanks. The thing is, I actually like being around children that aren't, you know, dumb bitches. I like playing with kids, I like reading to them, you know, that stuff. So there was. I've seen... From Taylor the Fiend, feminists are losing it over nose ring theory. By the way, I already got like 50 girl names and 20 boy names just in case. Nice. Yeah, I already know my first son's name would be my grandfather's name. I want to give my children all the German names, like actual German names, not like Kevin, Like, it feels like every second German boy is named Kevin. And they're the most obnoxious little shits ever. I think I've never seen or met a Kevin that's not an asshole or stupid. But then again, I also love, you know, Home Alone, you know. Man, that movie is so good. All the Kevins you have known have been retarded? Yeah. Because the parents are retarded. That's why they named the kids Kevin. Let's see some feminists cry, right? That's gonna be fun.
Oh, you mean the theory that if a woman with a septum ring posts a picture or video of herself on the internet, her comment section will be swarmed with butthurt sensitive little boys triggered by a piece of metal in her nose? Yeah, I'm familiar with the theory.
That's not the theory. The theory is that if a woman has a septum ring, it means that she has certain political leanings and cultural ideology.
Oh yeah, that's 100% true. I've never seen a conservative woman with a septum piercing. Ever. Or with piercings generally. They don't have that. The only woman that have children and have, you know, do stuff, they are horrible parents. Because guess what? They are single mothers in absolute most cases. And if they aren't single mothers, the fathers are also trash, just like the mother. You just look at them and they're trash. You know they're trash people. You can tell by the way they dress and they look. If anyone tells you to not judge people by how they look, you have to run away. Those people are crazy. They want to see you dead. If your girlfriend would ever got one, I'm gonna combine your mother and father and your girlfriend's name, so it would be 3 families connected to her. Don't make it overly complicated, Hans, because that will harm your kid at the end. Make it easy, and you know, you can just have more than one child, which by the way is the best thing to go, because if you have only one child, you will treat the child special, aka give it everything at once, and that will make the child become an asshole. Many such cases.
That are incredibly insane and unreasonable, and honestly it's true pretty much all the time.
And that's the thing, it's not all the time, it's pretty much all the time. That's the important thing. It's not all, but the absolute majority. Taylor the Fiend.
Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a video for you here today from the Modern King titled "Feminists Are Furious Over Nose Ring Theory." I mean, if the shoe fits, they might as well wear it. Now, today's video was suggested to me by Hadan the Mummy. I'm going to leave both of their channels linked in the pinned comments, so make sure you go and subscribe to these guys. Don't forget to leave your own comments, and let's jump right into the video.
Spoiled kids turn into horrible adults? Yes, 100%. You see that in politics all the time. All these spoiled, alone childs become politicians and fuck everyone over. Mostly women. No, like name my girlfriend, Mitt, your father's name, middle name, and the final mother. So it's 3. Which is a lot. Which is a lot, Hans.
Nose ring theory. Always has to be some dude in my comments going, septum ring theory.
What's your septum piercing theory?
You know, that's...
I'm in the way again. So, what I want to say. Funny how all these women look the same. They have all the same attitude. All of them. What, it got 3 sources of lore. This isn't Tolkien's universe.
Not very nice.
See? Crazy. What normal person would do that?
Can anyone tell me what the septum ring theory is?
So far, we have not seen any reasonable person here. They all look completely crazy. And even if they wouldn't have septum piercings, they would still all look crazy. And they act crazy too. That's the insane thing. They are the complete... They proving it to be true.
Septum theory? You don't like my septum piercing?
I don't like your septum piercing, your glasses, your fake hair color, your fake eyebrow color. That thing here, are you a furry? I guess. I mean, he looks like someone that fucks dogs. Oh, tattoos.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye, Felicia.
Did you see the eyes? Crazy eyes.
Septum ring theory wouldn't be a thing if these women didn't record themselves freaking out over men calling them out for having an unattractive septum piercing. It's a telltale sign that they are very unhinged people.
Stay away from women with septum piercings. They are horrible people. They are the most evil beings that you will ever encounter on this game that we call life. All right? You know about the devil, but what if I told you there is a reincarnated form walking and roaming this earth, and all they got is a septum piercing? And I get what you're saying. Why would you just typecast one group of people, right? It's because it's always been true. Yeah, I get what you're saying. But bro, everybody with a septum piercing, they happen to be like the sexiest people on earth.
Even if a woman with a nose ring is aesthetically attractive, her general attitude towards men, politics, and life in general are usually so toxic and unpleasant that it actually makes them unattractive to a lot of men.
True. Very true. Very, very true. And I so far I've never seen a case where a woman with a septum piercing would not be more attractive without the piercing. Not once. Even old woman my age. Ugh.
That's true, but that is to compensate for how bad of a person they are on the outside. You feel what I'm saying? It's like their heavenly restriction if you know Jujutsu Kaisen. They're going to be so sexy.
He's watching anime. Of course he does. Life is just a sandbox world on hard mode, according to Bro. Basically, yes.
It has to get balanced out with a flaw. This flaw being that they are evil and bad people. They cannot have both, gang. Just the way you're reacting to this information, I'm already knowing you're not gonna listen to my warning, bro. But when you go and tap in because you're being curious, you know what curiosity did to the cat, right? That's the same thing that's gonna happen to you.
Everybody has their preferences, but we're seeing a lot of these women make themselves intentionally unattractive just to spite an entire group of men who, by the way, probably don't even care.
But on the
yeah, of course not. Of course the men don't care about these women, because these women are crazy and stupid. Why would you care about them? You're better off not caring about them and move on with your life. Which is what I do. Well, and I make fun of them for content, which is really fun. Thank you.
inside, shit's gonna numb you. It's gonna desensitize you. You're not gonna want any other woman after that. You dance with the devil, buddy. I tell you all the time, bro, this shit don't come from nowhere. I speak from experience, gang. I had... Look, and don't make fun of me when I say this, gang. She was light-skinned. She was a nurse. She had a septum piercing.
Nurse and septum piercing. Two red flags in a woman these days. For the ones who don't know, there was a study finding out that nurses have a very high likelihood on cheating on their partners. Some of the actor girls is removing fat on their body via surgery that they look like they come from cartoon. Fat? No. I've seen some removing ribs and stuff like that, but fat removal, that's basically the norm. Well, it was the norm in the 90s. To be fair, in the 90s that was the norm. Actually, not fun story. A colleague of my mother, she got a fat removal surgery and she died. She never woke up from the anesthesia, and she died. And she wasn't fat, by the way. She wasn't fat. She was slim, but wanted to be even slimmer. And then she died.
And when it was time to do that do, you know what tattoo she had on her thigh? She had the rose tattoo with the peacock. But you're not gonna listen to me though, right? Okay.
If a woman is covered in tattoos, has a septum piercing, and is also a nurse on top of that, I mean, that is just a recipe for disaster.
Yes.
And the unfortunate truth of the matter is that a lot of men learn that the hard way.
I'm going to hold your
Same.
hand with an industrial paper towel when I...
So, we don't even hear what she's saying, but she's crazy. Why? The piercing, tattoo, which I don't know what is said, what the meaning is, but it looks retarded. The hair color, the green one. Fake eyelashes. No, not eyelashes, eyebrows. They're either fake or painted on. I can barely tell. Yeah, 4 things that tell me she's crazy.
I tell you that your comments saying nose ring theory
Oh, more tattoos, yeah. She's
are
crazy.
literally doing the opposite of what you think they are. I want to look this
Yeah, the eyes are also crazy, yeah. Yeah, she's crazy. There.
way. I want you to be able to look at me and see that I am a safe space and that I don't tolerate.
You aren't a safe space. Look at these eyes. This is the perfect thumbnail. Look at this retard.
I want you to look at me and know, Donald Trump, man, honestly.
Have fun getting fucked by dogs.
What's going on in the world right now? Honestly, if I'm not for you, good.
Just take a look at her facial expressions. These are not the looks of someone who's rational, and by acting this way, all she's doing is...
Of course she isn't rational, she's a woman. I've never met a woman in my life that was rational. The type to cheat on you and cry when she gets caught, yes. She gets caught cheating and she will call you names. It's your fault for her cheating on you.
proving that there is weight to the whole nose ring theory.
Okay, what's with you and septum piercing?
It always starts with a girl, doesn't it? So there was this girl, and we had been talking for at least 4 months. Then we had been dating for about 6 months, and it got to the point where I was literally like, yeah, this is gonna be the girl for me. I'm gonna give it 2 years and I'm marrying this girl.
He made the right call, giving things an extra 2 years just to make sure everything panned out. With modern women, it takes significantly more time to weed out the red flags, and oftentimes even then they still lie and pretend to be different people for a very long period of time.
Easily.
Just like Japanese women. They are the perfect girlfriends. The moment you marry them, they become a house dragon. That's what I've heard. I don't know out of first hand because I never dated a Japanese woman. Never will. Fun fact, I find Japanese women from the 90s, 80s and before that way more attractive than modern Japanese women. I'm not into this extremely cutesy fake stuff. I actually hate it.
She was literally the kind of girl you would dream of. She was everything you would want physically, everything you would want personality-wise, everything you would want in her sense of loyalty. She didn't really have many friends. I was her first body. She was everything that I wanted. There was no one who could really say.
That's what she makes you believe. You don't know.
Separate us. All of a sudden, one day, it was like just a switch happened. She had been talking to this other girl, which I had no idea about. This girl was everything that my girlfriend wasn't.
This is why the sisterhood...
Yes. And now that feminists destroyed a good woman. Completely destroyed. Why? Because they hate women. Feminists are the most woman-hating you can imagine. Feminists are way worse than, but yeah, general feminists, including the man. Never trust a man that says he's a feminist. That's a horrible person. And the women completely hate women. If a female feminist talks to a good woman, the feminist tries to destroy the good woman. Because she hates her. Because the good woman can have everything that the feminist can't. Like a husband and children. And a nice life. Bro really hit the jackpot before Girls Rebel. Yeah.
Is so dangerous. It only takes one bad friend to completely destroy that woman's life, and they have no problem manipulating women in good relationships to ruin everything in the name of so-called liberation.
Body wasn't good. She was horizontally challenged. She had a septum piercing. Personality was disgusting. The looks was just an absolute no. Everything about her was bad. So these two finally met up one day. They started hanging out pretty much every single day. This girl was here all of the time. I even met the girl at one point, and I think within the first 4 seconds, I would, nah, this ain't, I don't like her. Immediately, you could feel the vibe on her. It was everything negative rather than positive. She would always complain. Everything was always a man's fault. She hates men.
Oh, negative aura, negative aura.
Yeah.
Women who blame men for everything need to be avoided at all costs. Their only mission in life is to try and make everyone as miserable and as angry as they are.
Yes, that's 100% true. How do I know it? I look at reality. That's how they behave. It's very easy.
It's like the plague. It sticks to you. It's disgusting. So anyway, the first change that I noticed, because my girl was blonde, she made my girlfriend dye her hair black, changed her entire aesthetic to wearing nothing but dark out, black emo clothing, started wearing eyeliner. This all happened in the span of a week. One by one, it was one day
week.
black
Oh
hair.
yeah.
Next day was the makeup change and eyeliner. Third day was the outfit. Fourth day was the septum piercing. And then I think after the septum piercing, it didn't look like my girl anymore. It looked different.
It is tragic how easy it is for women to be manipulated by other women into doing just the dumbest things imaginable. And honestly, I think it's because
the problem is no one is warning them. No one is warning women about women. It's always like, oh, women are so awesome, blah, sisterhood, blah, blah, blah. But women are the number one enemy of women. And it's not even close. Women hate women. And women especially hate attractive women. And especially women that are more attractive than they are. Ooh, they don't like that. And that's why they want to destroy them. That's why feminism is such a big thing. Women hate women. It's like Al Bundy said. I don't understand women. I don't want to understand women. Women understand women. And they hate each other. That blew my mind back in the day. But I didn't really get it until I was older. Like in my 30s. Then I finally got it. I mean, I got it before, but it didn't become part of the core knowledge.
they had an inclination to do it in the first place, and they just like to remove the accountability. But that's a discussion for a whole nother time.
As weeks started to go on, she started to try and stick other things in it to widen the gap. And it was almost like this girl had just come from the demon realm and just turned my girl into something that she wasn't. So then eventually my girl's personality changed and I couldn't take it no more. I told her specifically that you even had to change or we're over. And because I had such a great relationship with her parents at the time, my parents would spam call me asking if I had done anything, and I was like, no, I didn't do anything to your girl. Your girl met this one girl and she changed her, and the parents didn't believe me.
It's insane how quickly her family turned on him when he did literally nothing wrong.
Wait, did they really turn on him? What?
And I was like, no, I didn't do anything to your girl. Your girl met this one girl and she changed her, and the parents didn't believe me.
It's insane how quickly her family...
They didn't believe him? Oh.
turned on him when he did literally nothing wrong. He treated this woman with kindness, respect, and love, and she turned around and threw it all in his face, and everybody is quick to take her side over it.
So I begged them, I say, listen.
Of course, yeah, that's the usual. Oh, yeah, men are evil, women are innocent. No.
If you don't believe me, come out for a coffee and we'll discuss the whole thing. Sat them down, explained everything. They took my side.
You sat down with the parents?
Yes! Yes!
Yo!
Yes! I don't think you understand. When you really like a girl, you're gonna do whatever you can to save her.
Yes, exactly. That's so man-coded. I think that's what Smakalana would say. It's so man-coded. Because yeah, that's what men do. We like someone, we want to save them. Unlike women that don't even want to save their own children from drowning. Which... Story time. Every year almost every year for decades now, I'm always reading in the news or hearing that a man jumps into the Rhine to save a child from drowning. That's not even his. And occasionally the men drown too. I've never heard a woman jumping into the Rhine to save a child from drowning. Not even her own.
Eventually, she turned on everyone, even her own family, and it just wasn't my girl anymore. It was like she had been possessed or taken over. It just wasn't my girl. And after that moment, every time I looked at a girl with a septum piercing, all I still see is that other girl who stole my bit.
This woman forced her man to walk away because of something so damn stupid. It makes no sense why someone would change everything about themselves in the dumbest way possible and then blame the world when nobody accepts her idiocy.
Because these men...
It's all because that one woman destroyed her completely. And now the formerly good girl will have a horrible life. Because she listened to that one woman. And by the way, septum piercing, she's crying, there's a tattoo. I wouldn't be surprised if she's a single mother.
Make it so hard! Oh, they make it so hard!
She has tattoos on her fingers.
I can't handle it! I can't handle this! I can't handle men anymore! Y'all are liars! You lie to women! You promise us a lot! We are objects to you! We are things that you put on your shelf! You're just surviving!
Does she have a neck tattoo here too? Oh Jesus.
Trying to raise these kids! Trying to do the
She has kids?
best you can! And you get $250 a month! What the... That is pennies! I had to put my boots on the ground and become a single mom at 21 years old. My life...
Why? Why? Misery enjoys company? Yes. Why? You didn't have to become a single mother. Just marry the man you have children with. Then you're good. What's the problem? That's literally what we did for tens of thousands of years, and it works fine. Parents that are married, they don't have your problems. I wonder why. Oh right, because you're retarded.
Life is not what I wanted it to be.
Bruh. Then why did you make it be? Then why did you create the situation? Because remember, she said she became a single mother. It was not, oh, I'm getting divorced or anything like that. She became a single mother. Willingly.
The implication of happy wife, happy life is that if your wife is unhappy, she's gonna make your life miserable. Like she's a bomb you have to defuse every day, or it just spreads chaos and suffering to the whole family.
Yes. Which is quite true. I've never... Coming from a single mother household and being surrounded by mostly single mothers my entire life, I can tell you, it's always the woman that make everyone miserable. Everyone. All the time. It's never the fathers. It's not even the stepdads. No, it's a woman. It's always the woman. Why? I don't want to get banned.
First of all, nobody can be responsible for somebody else's happiness, never mind somebody whose mood depends on where the moon is. Can you imagine a man being like, yeah, if I'm having a bad day, so is she, and so are the children, and it's her fault? Oh my god, that's insane. Why is that normal to say?
It's normal because of the notion that it's the husband's job to make the wife happy, apparently, and that's pretty much impossible because modern wives insist on being unhappy instead of doing work to make the marriage actually last.
How about I love you and we're gonna...
Making the marriage with a man last is very easy. You don't bitch. You communicate, you know, what housework is done by who. And to be fair, the easy things are done by the woman. You know, most of the cleaning, stuff like that, the laundry. Why is that? Because we men don't really care. And because we don't really care, we half-ass it. And then women get angry. So just do it yourself, do it properly, the way you like it to be. And then there are no problems. You don't get angry because it's not done correctly. It looks the way you like it. And you don't fight with your husband over something he doesn't care about, but you care a lot about. And he does the dirty work, brings out the trash, mows the lawn, repairs stuff. Yes, traditional gender roles. They are traditional because they fucking work. They work very well. Very, very well.
Work through this together, and sometimes my feelings aren't everyone else's problem. But no, a lot of women will be like, yeah, he's got to maintain me. Oh, are you like a dog that he needs to walk and feed every day, and if he doesn't, you're gonna pee on the carpet because you're reactionary and volatile? And then they'll be mad if he agrees that she's like that. Like, some of these dudes, they sound like their wife is a temple that they have to sacrifice to every day, or else it unleashes a plague.
What's weird is how a lot of these women will look at their husbands and say that the men need to be trained on how to do everything. And even when a man does his best, it's still never good enough, and she gets angry with him anyway.
Meanwhile, men never complain no matter how horrible the wife is. Ever noticed that? Hi, Michael. Ever noticed that men barely ever complain about their wives, no matter how unhappy the man is? Ever? I remember my mother complained to me about her boyfriend. When I was about, I don't know, 14, 15, 16. Really inappropriate. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that as a parent. Never do that. That was really not good. And I always could heard them argue. And one thing my mother was always saying was, why are you like that? Which is one of the most stupid and aggravating things I can imagine asking someone or telling someone. Why are you like that? You know, you're having a fight with someone, you know, a verbal fight. Why are you like that? What the fuck is wrong with you?
You know what else makes their emotions everyone else's problem? A toddler. Even then, when you feed it and love it and take care of it as best you can, it'll still cry and keep everybody up. Don't acknowledge that something perfectly applies to both you and a 2-year-old and then be like, but we're equal though. Oh my goodness, pick one.
That pretty much sums up a lot of modern women.
Yeah.
Oftentimes they're toddlers.
I 100% agree.
Who think that doing basic adult tasks means that they are worthy of praise for doing grown-up things.
Like, I don't know if that's the case in other countries, but in Germany there was, and maybe it still is, a discussion about women want to get paid for doing household chores. Oh my god, I do my laundry, I have to get paid for that. What? Why? Have you ever heard a man saying something retarded like that? Oh, I want to get paid to do to wipe my ass. That's fundamentally what we are talking about here. Have you ever heard a man saying something like that? No. Why? Because it's retarded. No man would ever even start thinking about that. Because it's that retarded.
Hey, what are you doing?
Eating a sandwich.
Oh, we're going to my parents' house for dinner.
I know, I can't wait to see them.
Okay, then why are you eating?
I'm hungry.
You can't wait an hour?
I'll be hungry again. It won't be an hour. I'm gonna have to hug them, talk. It'll be like 2 hours before I even see an appetizer.
Okay, what if I tell them as soon as we walk in, he's hungry?
No, that's weird. And it's all about me eating.
That's what you want.
No, it's not. I want to eat right now.
I would never do this to your parents.
The sad thing is, this is true. This is women, and this is why women got beaten back in the day. And guess what? Everyone was happier.
I'm eating a sandwich.
Even though this is clearly a skit, it is insane how many men can relate to this. There are too many marriages where a woman will just cause drama over a sandwich that her husband is eating.
Why is
Because they like the drama. It gets them going.
Valentine's Day and also weddings typically more about pleasing the woman than celebrating the couple?
Because that's just how the world made it.
Why are there more traditions to celebrate women, and would that make sense if we're living in a patriarchy?
Because women are the prize.
Because if it wasn't...
They aren't. Fun fact for the young people that never heard of it. Back in the day, when a man and a woman married, the family of the woman would give things for the couple, like plates, household things to be used, and even money. Why? Because they knew that the woman is a burden for the man. She would just cost him money, which he wouldn't have to spend if he just wouldn't marry. And that's the fact that women are just, you know, a thing for money is still true to this day. But women, no one acknowledges anymore because, oh, we can't say that because, oh, women, they're so awesome, so strong and independent, they don't need a man. But then they leech off of men all the time. Women are literally what they say that a fetus is. A clump of cells, a parasite. And not... No, but that... Everything that's being argued about, you know, oh, a fetus isn't a human being. That applies to women too. Which is, if you think about it, really sad. Get your shit together.
For a woman, there wouldn't be any men on this earth, so we should be celebrating women every day.
And without men, there wouldn't be any woman. I mean, why am I arguing with her? She's obviously retarded. Look at the hair, the glasses, the fingernails.
But doesn't it take men to also produce more women?
But doesn't it take a woman first? You can get an IVF without a man and still have a baby. You can't be...
And where does the semen come from? She's so retarded.
Be a man and do that. You can only be a woman.
She thinks this is a gotcha answer, but anybody with basic knowledge of biology knows that in order to make a child, a man and a woman both...
Yeah, in Germany that's fourth and fifth grade education. I learned this in 4th grade. So why does she not know it? Because she's so uneducated and stupid that she's below a 4th grader.
Need to start that process. But anyway, guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace.
Oh, she's so dumb. Man, this has been something. Oh my god. Man, I'm 3 months late to the Nose Ring POV. 3 months. And yes, I wanted to... Oh, she's also late. And yes, I watched her too. Man. Oh, he was able to play Ashes of Creation? Oh, fuck. I'm gonna watch this later. And yes, I also watch some true crime stuff. Reacted by VTubers. Best movie ever? RoboCop. It's a great movie. I can... If you like action movies, RoboCop is great. The original one from the 80s. So, what do we watch now? This has never happened before. Uh-oh. Don't tell me she has debt from buying coffee for 25,000. I can believe it. Just look at her. Oh, look at that cute little girl. They are thieving over this game. Let me guess, the leftist. I don't even need to know, and I know already. What the fuck is going on here? That's a high school girl. Why does her parents allow her to have all these piercings? It's not a skirt. Oh my god, she's showing ass. It's over. Yeah, finally. Brian tells her exactly why she doesn't deserve chivalry. Let me guess, she has an OnlyFans. That would be... Oh my god, the RAM prices. Oh my god. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. It's bad, chat. It's really bad. Okay, let's where is my watch later? Let's see what we can find here. Oh, we already watched this one. Oh my god, this was so bad. We are watching this now. Game prices are collapsing. Publishers were wrong. Who could have guessed? 2 unavailable videos are hidden. Ah, great. Oh, we already watched this one too. And this one. I should delete those when I watch them. Oh, this one was so good. I haven't uploaded my react yet, but it's over 2 hours. Yeah, let's watch this one. I think this will go on my gaming channel. That's where it makes the most sense, I think.
I've heard you, and with today's story, it seems the rest of the industry is also beginning to hear you. Now, this year started with the fear that gaming is getting more expensive. Microsoft and Nintendo pushed the ceiling to $80, an impossibly high ask, especially as everything else has got more and more pricey. But elsewhere in the industry, something quieter is happening, and it's this. The games that you are actually buying, well, we've got the data about them.
It's mostly indie games at this point. Why do I know it? Because I haven't seen any good AAA games at all. When was the last time you have seen an announcement for a AAA game and you got excited? I didn't have that happen in a decade. So I imagine it took a little longer for others to realize how bad AAA games are. I think the last one that I bought was a AAA game. Was The Division 2. And yes, I bought that. I played it. How long did I play The Division 2? Let's check. Division. What? Is it The Division? It should be here somewhere, right? Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. Last played 2020. Rainbow Six Siege, last played 2021. Where's The Division? The Division... Wait. Do I not have them on Steam? Oh my god. I actually only have them on the Ubisoft thingy. Oh, yeah, November, yeah, forget that. When we got from girls to games, just now, we just now got here. Bro played a game that don't exist. It exists. And they even were working on a third Division. Which is completely... I'm not going into that rant again. That would be the 4th time I'm ranting about The Division 3.
And as it turns out, they're getting cheaper. $100 for Grand Theft Auto 6. That was the rumor that kicked off this year's anxiety about game prices. It was one that Take-Two have been happy to downplay, if not outright refute. But with GTA now delayed, we won't know the truth until next autumn, though we've already seen audiences reject the new price ceiling of $80. Xbox tried to put The Outer Worlds 2 at $80, presumably buying some headroom for Microsoft's lovely 30% profit margin demand. But they quickly reversed that decision. The inference from that? They didn't see enough pre-orders. People essentially voted with their wallet. Just that, unlike real votes, the great thing about voting with your wallet is you don't need to do anything to cast your vote. It turns out audiences just wouldn't pay that price for The Outer Worlds 2. But you know what they would pay? The regular price. Because, selling at a normal price, the game did have a top 10 launch. Though, the right product at $80 will sell. Mario Kart World kind of proved that. Even bundled with Switch 2 for many buyers, you don't get a 92% attach rate across...
By the way, I will not buy the Switch 2, even if I would be into the Switch 2, into Nintendo games, because you don't own the Switch 2. You acquire a license to use it. You're gonna speedrun 18 to go back here. Well, good luck with that.
9.57 million copies without lots of people shelling out the full amount. But that's only one side of this story, because the reality we need to dive into today is about how off-console prices have been plummeting. But there's a not so funny thing hanging over all of this, and it's the simple fact that video game spending is actually falling, but subscriptions are rising. We've seen that in analyst reports, and too often, well, we're paying for subs we don't use. That's why Rocket Money is today's video sponsor.
Oh, of
because
course.
they make it easy to get a handle on your subscriptions and get saving. And you can even get started today for free at Rocket. If you've bought a game on Steam in the last 18 months, you probably paid $20 or less. In fact, you've probably been paying less since 2023 than you did from...
I actually bought the deluxe edition for our creators because I think the game is worth the money, at least in the long run. You know, I got the game, I got some extra, aka cosmetics, and 20 something bucks in worth in their currency. And to be fair, how fun the game is, I would have spent the money on it anyways. So I just got it.
2020. Now, what are these numbers? Well, these numbers are from the research of Simon Carlos, who runs the excellent Game Discover Co. newsletter. He tracked average and median prices for the top 50 new monthly games on Steam during that period of time, ranked by copy sold, and you're looking at the graphs now. We see a median price as low as $10, as high as $20, with averages between $16 and $29. Shocker.
That's very low. Very, very low. But that's buying new games. For example, I've barely bought any game this year. I did spend almost $500 on Path of Exile though. Or even over that. So that's where all my money was going this year.
Steam users are thrifty people who like deals. We probably didn't need this much analysis to work that out, but that's not where I'm ending. Here's where things get truly interesting. From February 2023 to October 2025, the average amount of money spent on a best-selling game went down by 2%. The median, though,
I'm not surprised.
It went down by 20%. That means that more games are selling at a lower price. And whenever Carlos took a look at the revenue earned, the trend actually held. Now, in theory, that should favor more expensive games. They generate more revenue per sale. But even there, the median dropped from $23.75 to $20.35. That's about 14% of a drop. And do bear in mind that as this has been happening, the currency has been inflating. So even as players feel like they are being pressured towards $80 games, what they're actually buying is getting cheaper and cheaper. And what's key is that this is not showing...
One reason for that is that most of these cheap games are better than the expensive ones. I have played so many inexpensive games this year that are way more fun than AAA games. Now, to be fair, I don't play AAA games. I just look at them, I look at the gameplay, I look at cinematics, and I go, this is shit. Why would I? And then I buy something for $5 or $10 and have a jolly good time. Remember, for the price of, let's say, $70, $70 AAA game, you can get, I don't know, 7 games, indie games for that, and have the same amount of fun. But no, not the same amount of fun. The same time you spend in those games, but it's fun. Because most AAA games aren't fun. They aren't made to be fun. They are made to make money and be as profitable as possible. That's why they aren't fun.
Showing us what has been offered to players, it's showing us what players have actually chosen. It's showing the best-selling premium games on the platform, and that does feel like a bit of a win, right? That we are seeing smaller teams with cheaper games beginning to dominate the sales space. That says a lot for the value of Steam, and in a world where people...
Yes, but they dominate because their games are just better. And they like making games. They don't come out and saying, oh, we hate gamers. That's literally what people in the big studios do.
Would have to compare the price of a full console plus a subscription for multiplayer and more expensive games and weigh that up to a Steam machine with generally far cheaper games. Well, I think it also makes the Steam machine look stronger as well. Overall, though, it's somewhat validating an argument you see all the time, right? The argument people make every time someone suggests an $80 price point, which is that you make your profit in aggregate. So make your games cheaper and then more people will buy them. Buying 4 $20 indie games is to many people better than one $80 AAA game. Surely that's what's going on. Surely that's what everyone is doing. Well, ish. Let's look more into the data. Carlos gave us the perfect example. It's the September releases on Steam, where Silksong sold like gangbusters at $20, with 4.6 million copies shifted.
That game looks so beautiful. It's incredible.
On Steam alone. That's nearly double the sales of a full-price title like Borderlands 4. The immediate takeaway is a lower barrier to entry at the price of a couple of coffees, meaning you give yourself the widest possible audience. and a big game. And in theory, that also means that more people can buy more games. But it's actually not quite that simple. You see, regardless of price, the majority of game players don't actually buy that many games. Circana's Future of Games report surveyed
I'm not surprised by that. Because of all the live service games. I mean, I am literally playing 4. Arc Raiders, War Thunder, Path of Exile 1, Path of Exile 2. And then occasionally single player games. I'm completely done when it comes time-wise to playing games. I don't have time for, I buy me a $80 AAA game. Number one, that's a lot of money. Number two, the game is most likely shit. And I have other games that I'm then playing. So why would I?
1,000 US players on self-reported purchase patterns. About a third of the market says they buy just one game or fewer a year.
Let's see. 4% more often than once a month. What, approximately a third of video game players purchase a new video game less often than once per year, while about 36% purchase a new game once a quarter or with higher frequency. Purchasing frequency. How often do you typically purchase a new game? More often than once a month, 4%. Those people have a lot of time and money. About once a month, same. About once every 3 months, I can see that. About once every 6 months, totally see that. About once a year, still see that. Less often than once a year. That's really not a lot. Now don't get me wrong. Back in the day when I was in school and stuff like that, I bought more games than I do now. But games were cheaper. They didn't cost as much sum-wise, but they weren't really cheaper. You know, inflation and stuff like that. But I also played way more different games. Literally from simulated economy games to ego shooters. And everything in between, basically. So, yeah, I had a lot of games. When I was 16, 17, I bought more games in 1 year than I now buy in, I don't know, 5 years or something like that. It's bad. It's really bad.
Just under 2/3, 63%, buy fewer than 2 games a year. That is absolutely insane to me, but I suppose when I think about what my norms are, or maybe you do the same, we probably have a sampling bias, one that is in and around enthusiast gamers. We do buy more games, but it seems that with broader audiences, that is less the case. Now obviously, that's Circana doing a survey of 2,500 people in the US. It's good enough work, it's hypothesis.
2,500 is not a lot.
It's generating work, but obviously, it is just a survey. Though I would say that when you think about games...
Interesting would be getting data from Steam. But I think we will never do that.
Overall, a lot of it is plausible. You see, a lot of people are only interested in buying this year's sport game, or this year's Call of Duty.
Oh, yeah.
This year's Call of Duty. Maybe
yeah, not this year's.
Instead. But the majority of any product-based industry is often people who are gently engaged in it. Not people, perhaps, like you and me, but it's actually the top of the chart that complicates things here, because those people probably aren't the ones buying indie games for $20 en masse. No, that's the other 37% of people, but even that 37% is quite stratified. 22% say they buy a game every 3 months. That's 4 games a year, and that adds up with Valve's own data. Yes, Valve's own data suggests that users played only 4 games on Steam on average in 2023 and 2024.
What games did I play this year? Not this one. Arc Raiders, War Thunder, Path of Exile 1, this piece of shit. Path of Exile 1, Halls of Torment, Tower Dominion, Half-Life 1, Blue Shift, I didn't play that. I played Stellaris, I played this piece of shit. Marvel Rivals, but I didn't spend any money, so it doesn't really count. Vampire Survivors, Replicator, neat game, but I have problems with the camera movement. I played a little bit of Doom. And that's it. That's all the games that I played this year. Wait, I didn't play this one this year? This one is actually good. Wait, I didn't play this one? This year? I thought I played Tower Hunter this year. Welcome back, Hans.
A further 10% buy a new game monthly, which is of course great for an industry releasing thousands of games a year. But we need to put this in perspective. If you bought Silksong and any other game in September, 2 games in 1 month, then you are only 4% of the games market. That's kind of wild. And even if we're allowed to some swing and fuzz...
That's actually low, yeah. That's a low percentage. You are in the top tier of gamers. You are hardcore.
Because a survey is only as good as the survey, the point I think still does stand. And of course it's a point that we do see in a lot of other things as well. Take whaling, right? Whaling and free-to-play games, where the majority of the revenue does come from a very small strata of that game's player base. And when we...
There's a reason I don't play those games. You eat the greatest meal of your life. Good for you.
See data like that, I think we begin to understand why all of those publishers and indie devs moved their releases away from Silksong, or of course, away from GTA 6. And in the case of the indies, it would especially be because most of those indies are at the same price point or cheaper than Silksong. So if you're releasing against Silksong, a game with massive cut-through to enthusiast audiences, if you're releasing against that, then, well, you're betting on the 4% of the market turning up that does actually buy multiple games a month. That doesn't really seem like a great strategy, does it? And here's the...
You would say Umumazuma Pretty Derby would win? Oh my god. That game. Yeah. My problem is the gacha. The gacha is a problem. I don't have a problem with basically girlfriend simulators. I would completely play that. Completely. 100%. But, you know, there's not really anything out there that I would say, oh yeah, this is a full price worthy game. And the full price, I mean, $60 or something like that. And I don't go for, you know, gacha games because I would have to spend thousands there. And I don't want to do that. You play the game, it's peak. Yeah, I have heard it's good, but no, I don't. I will never.
Kicker. What if I told you there's another layer? You see, this chart does not distinguish between new games and already released games that are on sale. Every time someone buys a game...
Yeah, which is also a problem. Only because you buy you buy a game doesn't mean it's a new game. It can be 10 years old. If you don't have it, you buy it, you enjoy yourself, right? It doesn't... Yeah, that's also a problem. If you bring out a game, you have to compete with games that came out 10, 20 years ago. Basically, fundamentally. Which might be hard.
It's been out for 6 months, they're probably not buying a new game that month to go along with it, regardless of price. So, more people aren't buying games, even as prices keep trending down. Now, if that is the case, as a bunch of this data suggests, well, why then are audiences feeling like they are constantly being asked for more and more? When people are asked to pay $80...
Because the prices of the well-known and advertised IPs are going up. There, solve the problem. It has its own show and movies and games and songs. Yeah, I know that. But I will never go into gacha games. Never. Never. That's the one line that I will not cross.
Or $70 for a video game, Nintendo, Microsoft, or Sony are basically banking on a fairly simple principle, that the people who actually have money will spend it regardless of anything else that's going on. Essentially, they're betting on it being a premium product with inflexible demand. That is why marketing teams target those people. That's why those absurd collector's editions exist, right? The people who absolutely love games and have money. They're the people these companies can count on. The games industry basically thrives in people who can spend without thinking about it, which has always been the case. Buying more...
Which is true, yes. Yes. You only buy video games if you have the expendable money for it. Which I had as a kid, because I wouldn't spend any money on anything else. To be fair, all my money went into gaming. All my money. And when I got $50 per month as an allowance, I don't spend any money on anything else. Okay. CDs, for music and movies. But they weren't as expensive as games. Not even close. Well, actually, they were half the price. A CD was $20, maybe 25. When it goes high, 30. Okay, it was expensive. I'm starting to remember. But yeah, most money went to gaming.
More than one $60 game at launch has been unaffordable to people for years. But the problem is the proportion of people with money to spend freely actually does appear to be shrinking. Get this. As of September, the top 10% of earners accounted for 50% of US retail sales. And the very same year, spending in games is actually down. The 18 to 25 age group in the US is spending nearly a quarter less in games this year. And everyone, just in large, is down a couple of percent. But on the whole, most...
Yeah. The destruction of society and the impoverishment of the middle class makes people spend less money on stuff. Duh. And on top of that, you have massive inflation. Duh. Of course people spend less money on video games. That's to be expected if you destroy society. What if my phone can compete with your laptop? Well, modern phones are faster than laptops in the past, which isn't hard. Because your phone can do whatever your laptop can do and can overtake it. Well, yeah, that's how things go.
Game spending is only a few points down. Now, given we're in rough economic times, that could seem like a good thing, right? Oh, the world is experiencing troubles, but games are only down in most categories by a few percent. What if I told you it's actually worse than that? You see, the difference that's been made up, right? What's made this only a few points down? Well, it's basically subscriptions making up the difference, because those have grown all year. But that comes from the bottom of the spending population, not the top, right? It comes from people who are seeking more and more value for their increasingly limited dollars, whilst also spending less and less on premium games. And I think that is the big tension that people are feeling. We're in a situation where game marketing, traditional big games...
I think so too. The lower percentile of the people just don't have the money to buy all these new games. It's very simple. What if there's a phone that has the power of a PC? Well, that's already the case. My phone has more power than a PC 20 years ago. It's just, you have to relativize what we are talking about here.
are basically out of reach to most of the audience, more so than perhaps ever in recent memory. But the companies haven't changed how they talk to players as a whole. A lot of the market has changed underneath those companies, but it's not really like it seems they've really changed their comms to match, and that is leading to people feeling ignored. It's leading to people facing demands that they cannot meet. And that's because the companies that used to be targeting them are now not targeting them. They are targeting someone with more disposable income. And that's a tough change to stomach. But by contrast, the $20 games on Steam are changing. Individual indie developers are watching game prices creep lower and lower. And they're just hoping that they will get enough sales to succeed, because they cannot afford to price higher and risk player blowback. Now, we're not quite at the mobile game space, where developers basically can't afford to price games as premium products anymore, but we are seeing a shift in how games are sold, and what that means.
Yeah, one dude making a great game and spending it, selling it for $20 makes way more money than a studio with 200 people that has to sell. They have to sell millions of copies for $60, or they lose money and go bankrupt. What if the company phones let the buyers custom their phones though? Like PCs can be customized. Funny thing, there was a guy that invented a phone like that. He got killed. I wonder why.
Lead to may not be great for all of us. Because if you can't ask players for more than $25 without facing comparisons to Silksong, then you may start having to scope your development very differently indeed. And that means that some traditional games simply would be out of reach. It could also mean that we do feel more and more nickel and dimed.
By the way, I think it's stupid to see a game that costs $20 and then go, oh yeah, but it's not like Silksong, you know, when it comes to, you know, what it has to offer. Silksong was developed by, I think, 3 guys or 4 over 10 years. I think it was 10 years or 8, something like that. Why are you comparing that? Why? It's another indie game that, you know, and the developers need to make money to, you know, make more games. And the thing is, if you just don't want to pay the money, then just wait until it's on sale. If the game is good enough for you to play it, then why are you complaining about $20? And yes, this is a very privileged take, but $20 aren't that much, especially if you compare to other things like AAA games. If the game is worth, why are we so anal about, oh, this isn't as great as Silksong, so it can't cost $20? I mean, sure, there are plenty of games that aren't worth $20. Of course there are. Of course. Like Concord. But there was Concord. What else? The last Prey that came out, that was actually liked by everyone but me, because it's not really Prey, it's just a horror game with the name Prey. Or Doom Dark Ages. At the beginning it looked like it would be cool, but then it turned out it just was a typical AAA game. Why are people always complaining about stuff when it doesn't even really matter? Because they want to complain. that person could have built the world more advanced than now. Yes, he could have. That's why he got killed. If you don't want to buy the game, you would say pirate it for free. Piracy, by the way, is back on track again. Everyone is pirating now because of all the subscription services and stuff like that. It's become so complicated to get what you want that piracy is back. It's so dumb. They literally defeated piracy with iTunes and with Netflix. Then they made it old shit again, and now piracy is back.
So, it's not all doom and gloom. It actually seems there's a lot of vibrancy in the indie scene. But what we are seeing is a changing market, changing behaviors, and a AAA sector that is struggling to keep up pace with that change. So no wonder they're out of touch. And speaking of out of touch, Bungie. That's certainly something a lot of people would say about them, and they have just had some not so rosy news. Basically, a big write-off at the same time that they kind of admitted they shat the bed with Destiny 2. If you want to learn about that, watch this video next.
This was not a bad video. Not great, but not bad. Yeah, I can totally see where the problems are. You wonder when 4A go out? What is 4A? Is that a gaming studio? Because I think I've never heard of them. AAA? Oh, you mean for gacha games? Because I don't know what you're talking about. Like, literally, I have no idea. I have no clue. Oh, by the way, what do we do next? Actually, we do this. The beginning of the end. Oh, I've... Did they fusion? Maybe. Would be bad. So I have no idea what's going on here.
Declining theatre attendance, rising ticket prices, disappointing box office returns, shrinking theatrical windows, and now major studio buyouts by streaming giants. It's fair to say...
Wait. Netflix is buying Warner Brothers?
Windows, and now major studio...
Netflix to buy Warner Brothers for 83 billion. They don't have the money. I don't believe for a second that Netflix has the money to do so. And it would be bad, really bad. Because that would mean all Warner Brothers stuff would go on Netflix, and you wouldn't be finding any more DVDs and Blu-rays of Warner Brothers movies out there. Because that would be bad for business. I hate globalists.
Buyouts by streaming giants. It's fair to say that 2025 has been a rough old year for Tinseltown, for movie theaters, for audiences, and the entire movie industry. But here's the thing, these aren't bugs anymore, they're features. Features of a changing entertainment landscape, a changing culture, and a changing perception of what films even mean to us now. The recent news that Netflix have officially won...
Yeah, I think movies these days don't mean anything anymore. Okay, bye Hans. I guess good night. It's late for you. I think I grew up where there would be a new movie coming out and people would go crazy over it. It would be a cultural phenomenon. And now a movie comes out that costs 400 million makes over $1 billion, and 1 month later, no one talks about it anymore. No one. People today still reference movies from the 80s and 90s, and even the 70s. But who's referencing a movie from even 10 years ago, or 20? No one. Because no one cares. Oh my god, I just got depressed.
The bidding war to buy out Warner Brothers and their entire catalogue of IPs seems to have thrown the entire industry into a tailspin. Damn man, they've even petitioned the dreaded Orange Man to intervene and block the deal, as if the fucking White House has got any say over corporate mergers. The major fear in—
They kind of have. Kind of. In extreme cases. Just like in Germany.
Hollywood is that Netflix will gradually move away from the theatrical model and transition movies almost entirely to streaming. And well, they probably should be afraid of that, because I'm pretty sure that's the plan all along. But
well, yes, that's the thing. The globalists want everyone to be their pay piggy. And how do they do that? By having everything under control. How do they control everything? By having everything online. And so they also can completely change all the media. You like a movie from the 80s? Oh, that movie is not problematic. Now you can't watch it anymore. And they make it like it never existed.
this isn't just the actions of a single streaming giant that wants to destroy movie theaters purely for shits and giggles. It's a simple reflection of the reality facing the movie industry now. A reality that's been knocking on the door of Hollywood with increasing volume and declining patience for years now, and isn't going to be put off for much longer. It's time for some harsh truths, dear viewer, and the drinker is the one to administer them. The theatrical movie experience as we knew it is dying. It's not in a temporary slump, it's not just going through a bad spell right now, it doesn't need to hang in there until things pick up again, and you can't keep blaming it on fucking COVID.
It's all bullshit! All of it!
The fact is, it's not going to get better. What we're seeing now are the final stages of a process that started decades ago. To understand it,
decades? Home video might have started it, yes, I can see that.
Let us discuss the theatrical movie experience as we know it today, shall we? Now, imagine for a second that you're a typical American family man with a wife and 2 kids. You work a slightly unfulfilling corporate job that teenage you would probably be horrified by, but hey, it pays the bills, so whatever, I guess.
Sure.
And yeah, the sex is more of a predictable weekly ritual now than an exciting experience to look forward to, and you're harbouring a growing suspicion that a divorce could be on the cards once the kids have flown the nest and there's nothing left to hold the 2 of you together, but let's not worry too much about that right now. For today at least, you want to take the family out to the movies, so you drive for 30 minutes in heavy traffic to get to your local theatre.
Yeah. I would, by the way, always either take the bus or my bicycle to get to the theatre.
You buy the tickets, which cost like $20 each, because of course...
Thankfully, the last time I was in the theatre, it was, I think... Wait. I don't even remember. But I never paid $20. It was always lower. But I would always also go on days where, you know, it was cheaper, and daytimes that were cheaper.
The kids just have to see the film in IMAX. Then you have to buy overpriced drinks and snacks because nobody can just sit through a 2-hour movie without shoveling a constant stream of food and drink down their throats. Then you take your seats, which smell a bit weird and have a suspiciously sticky patch around the crotch area that hasn't been cleaned, but let's not worry too much about that. And oh dear, it seems like there's a bunch of teenagers sat right behind you.
That's the worst thing. Teenagers. It's not even little children, it's teenagers.
What are the odds, eh? I hope you like eavesdropping because you're going to be hearing them talk about every single detail of their lives throughout the entire movie. But hey, it's just part of the theatre experience, right? Oh yeah, and half the people around you already have their phones out, one or two are watching TikTok videos with the volume turned way up, and one guy's having a full-on argument with his girlfriend on speakerphone. But hey, it's just part of the experience, am I right? So you settle in as the lights go down, and you try to ignore the teenagers behind you, and the people who are still filtering in and tripping over people because the lights are off now, because it's time for trailers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And you know what? Back in the day, and by the way, hello Xetai, I hope I pronounced it correctly. Even home video, if you rented a movie, you know, a blockbuster, you rent a movie, you go home, you put the movie in VHS, and what's the first thing you see? Trailers. Trailers for all the upcoming movies. Either for theater or for video. Man, such shit. And for today, we're doing good.
Well, actually, it's time for the commercials first, usually for luxury cars you're never going to be able to afford. Then after 15 minutes or so, you're deemed worthy to watch the trailers. Then another 20 minutes after that, it's finally movie time. But oh no, now you're...
And by that point, my popcorn was basically gone. And I would always get a big bucket, because I like popcorn.
5-year-old daughter decides that she really needs to go to the bathroom because all that soda has to go somewhere, right? So you stumble your way to the end of the row, tripping over feet and pissing off everyone else around you in the process, and you take her outside so she can go for a piss, and eventually you make it back to your seat, and yeah, you've missed the first 10 minutes of the movie now, but hey, it's all part of the experience, right?
Yeah.
So you finally settle down to watch the film, and you try to ignore the gossiping teenagers and the people on their phones, and the stomach churning sound of food getting shoveled into faces, and the smell.
What's the video about? Netflix is about to buy Warner Brothers. And the video is about, you know, the theatrical experience. Which is bad.
Of sweaty, unwashed bodies and just concentrate on the pure cinema experience. Wait, isn't this just a remake of an animated movie you saw when you were a kid?
Son of a bitch!
Anyway, about...
Yeah, that's modern theaters. Yeah, modern movies. You were going to the cinema earlier today. Man, I don't even remember what was the last movie I watched in a theater. No clue. Absolutely no clue. Might have been an Alien movie? Alien 4? The one that was after Prometheus? By the way, that movie wasn't good. Both of those movies weren't good. Or something else? I don't know. It's almost 10 years ago. But you didn't watch the movie? Ah, must have been bad then. I still remember watching all 3 Lord of the Rings movies in theater on the same day. It was so good. I spent about 12 hours almost in theater. It was so good. So good. Oh my god. That was a movie experience in theater that I actually cherished. That was so good.
3 hours and several bathroom breaks later, you finally make it home, tired, mildly pissed off, and about $100 out of pocket, and you find yourself asking the question, what the fuck was the point in any of that? So with all
Good
that in
question.
mind, is it any wonder that more and more people are just opting out of movie theaters altogether? Like, be honest with yourself for a second. Unless you're a genuine cinephile who needs to see everything on the biggest screen imaginable, is it really worth the time, the hassle, the expense, the irritation and the discomfort just to see something that will probably be available on streaming in a few weeks anyway?
No. The thing is, only some movies are worth going to the theater. For example, all those love comedies that women always watch. Completely not worth having it in the theater. Not at all. Now, movies like Star Wars, yes. Actually, I think movies, science fiction movies, everything that's having lots of effects in it and great sound design and stuff like that, they are great for theaters. They're actually getting enhanced by being on the big screen and having Dolby Surround around you and literally feeling the sound in your guts. You know, that works. That's great. Comedies and stuff like that, no. Last time you've watched Horror Session 3? I have never heard of that. Movie name Horror Session 4? What? There's another one? I don't know. Never heard of that.
Which brings me neatly along to my second point, the alternative. The appeal of the movie experience was always in the scale and spectacle, because until pretty recently, nothing in your home could ever hope to compete with it. Not anymore, however. These days, like $1,000 or less will get you a pretty serious home cinema setup. A setup that's ready to go whenever you want it, where you don't have to drive for half an hour just to get there, or shell out for overpriced snacks, or sit through endless trailers and commercials for the privilege of watching something that you've already paid for, or be forced to share the experience with a bunch of strangers who can...
Netflix movies have very bad sexism? Yes. Absolutely. They hate men. And it's very obvious.
Spoil your enjoyment at any time they want, where you can pause the movie whenever you want and never miss a second of it, and most importantly, where the whole thing doesn't set you back more than $100 a pop. It's a trade-off for sure, a trade-off between spectacle on one side and comfort and convenience on the other, and the fact is, that trade-off's getting more and more appealing for the average person every single year. When you get right down to it, the harsh reality is that movie theaters are an outdated form of entertainment now, a holdover from the 20th century that's been propped up beyond its time by one simple philosophy: more. Gigantic budgets, more visual effects, bigger screens, louder sound systems. Studios and theaters have been locked into a cinematic arms race for decades now, pushing technology and spectacle as far as they could go until finally they hit...
Remember 3D movies? We were sitting there having... Worst thing for me? Having 3D glasses over my glasses. Such a great experience. And the worst thing is, when 3D movies were the only version the movie would came out in theaters. So if I wanted to watch a movie, that specific movie in theater, it had to be 3D. There was no choice. A real man uses Amazon Prime Video. Nah. A real man only goes out, buys physical copies. Only of the stuff he actually wants to watch. You can't watch 3D movies, you have glasses. Kind of the same. It's really hard to watch a 3D movie by actually wearing glasses. The last time you watched Superman was a disgrace. The last movie? I've not really heard anything good or negative about it. It's whatever.
An evolutionary dead end. It was always going to happen. It was just a question of when. And as it happens, the answer is now. So what does it all mean? Is this the end of Hollywood? The end of movies? The end of the world as we know it? No, of course not. There's always going to be a demand for entertainment. That'll never change. It's just the method of delivery that's evolving. People are going to watch more movies in the comfort of their own homes. It's inevitable. Theatrical windows are going to get shorter and probably vanish altogether eventually, so that movies will get released simultaneously onto streaming and and theatrical. Movie theaters will still exist to some extent, but just like the old musical theaters from the 19th century, they'll become a much more niche experience, reserved for film buffs and occasional big event movies that people can't afford to miss.
Yeah, I can see that, yes, completely. For example, theaters, like little theaters where plays are being, shown with actors on stage. Who's watching stuff still? Basically no one. It's a rich people thing. Rich people keep that alive, and the governments. That's it. That's the only reason that still exists, at least in the West. The only reason. Because I can tell you, no one I ever knew wanted to go to a theater and watch a play. No one. I only watched one play because it was a school thing. We went there for a school trip, whatever, and no one cared. No one cared. Literally no one cared. Maybe the teachers, but not the pupil. No, not at all.
Box office revenues are going to keep declining until eventually they become obsolete metrics, and a film's real success will be determined by the number of hours watched on streaming, none of which will be independently verifiable, allowing studios to hide massive and embarrassing flops behind subscription walls.
Yeah.
And as for the studios themselves, I'd expect more and more of them to be bought over by streaming and tech giants like Netflix, Apple, and Amazon in the years ahead. Businesses that make their real money elsewhere and can easily afford to pump billions of dollars into film and TV production, even if a lot of it never actually turns a profit. Do I like where all this is going? Not really, because despite all their flaws, I think there is still something kind of special about going into a movie theater and just losing yourself in a film for a couple of hours. But pretending this stuff...
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And I literally need to watch a couple of movies, because when I watch movies, I'm getting relaxed. I forget everything around me, which is great. It's a really good thing for me to calm down.
Isn't happening, or that it can be magically reversed, is like telling yourself that internet cafes or public payphones or video rental stores are going to make a comeback someday. They won't, because the moment technology made these things irrelevant, the culture quickly adapted to live without them.
Yeah.
Movie theaters are dying out, and the Hollywood system that relied on them is dying along with them.
Yeah.
Whether something better eventually comes to replace them is anyone's guess. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Twitter is a shit show. It's actually the next video that I wanted to watch.
Declining.
Yeah. Oh, who could have guessed theaters are dying? Who could have guessed? We watched this months ago. So what do we do? Watch actually. Game. What? No, game. What? 2025. Is there... So this is the official thing. Almost... Oh God. We are 2 hours... This is a almost 4-hour stream, which means I will probably react 5 hours to it. Asmongold's video is over 3 hours long. Oh Jesus. The Game Awards, French edition. Oh god. Man, a part of me wants to watch this. Even if it's just for content, but another part is, yeah, I don't want to. Because it's so long. I can make this an actual entire stream. Yeah, I'm not in the mood now. I'm not in the mood. Absolutely not. Let's watch a Muujin video. I want to. Let's watch something fun and stupid. So, two VTubers. One is a bully, one is a racist. Okay. Let's have some fun. This is 1-year-old drama. I hope it's good.
Twitter is an absolute cesspool of a website. I think we can all agree on that.
Yes.
But like any other website, it does have an algorithm that tries to find what interests you and pushes it right in your face to make you stay there longer.
Of course.
Now, yes, I follow a bunch of VTubers. They follow me back. It assumes that I'm interested in VTubers. And you know what? I am. I mean, clearly, just look at my channel. And thanks to this algorithm, sometimes it'll feel like a coliseum, where I'll scroll down on my feed and see two VTubers I've never heard of fight to the death over accusations. Most of the time, it's very trivial things.
Awesome. I love it. This is great.
Things that can be ignored, but sometimes there are some ridiculous controversies, and that's exactly what happened in this situation. This involves a partnered streamer with almost 40,000 followers. And unlike a lot of my other videos, there's no need to be neutral here at all because this person's actions are unjustifiable. It's impossible to defend her. She's terrible. But it wasn't just Baybub, it was also her friends, including but not limited to another partnered streamer by the name of Antan, who is equally, if not more, terrible. This is the standard internet villain story. Two very unlikable people did something bad, they tried to double down on it, and eventually only apologized because they felt forced to. It's
the usual. The usual. Like, all the time.
It's hilariously bad, so let's get right into it. So typically, when a Twitch partner gets banned, the automated account by the name of Streamer Bans will let everyone know about it. This is exactly what happened on August 10th, 2024. Baybub got banned for the first time on Twitch. But this isn't how the majority of people found out about her being banned.
Oh.
Now, yes, she had made a post saying, I got banned on Twitch for 7 days for things I did not do. A small Dead by Daylight creator got very hostile towards me and my friends who played against him, and he nitpicked lines and made it all that I said it. I'm with my family right now, so I will appeal and get more into this later. The thread does go on and we'll get to it, but most people still didn't find out about this through this tweet. They found out about it by someone quote tweeting this with exactly what she did to the smaller streamer.
Oh, thank you. This is great.
This was the tweet that most people aware of this saw in their Twitter feed by Spookin' Jukes, quote tweeting that tweet we just saw from Bub and saying, you deserve to be banned. You and Antan Desu are both Twitch partners, and you, along with your friends, shamed a streamer with 700 followers because you lost a match of Dead by Daylight. You also pulled up his stream while live and all harassed him in his chat. Pathetic.
This is literal mean girl behavior. Man. Hello, the coffin of Andy. And yes, you came at the right time, VTuber drama. And of course, it's retarded. Who could have guessed?
Linking a clip 1 minute 22 seconds long. In it, you'll see exactly why she got banned and exactly why she was getting so much hate. Watch.
Sure.
It's crazy.
4K hours and they're streaming this gameplay, bro. I'm so sure nobody is gonna get entertained by this.
They're a streamer?
Yep.
I'ma go annoy them. Of course.
Okay. She just said she will go and annoy him. Of course he's a white man. Oh. Ah.
He's a white man.
I want to see the chat. I want to see the
This
chat.
guy.
Hold on, let's see. Why are we being so sad?
I did not hump anyone this match.
Why you sit
I'm
on
gonna put the vote
single
up. You can check
gen?
it yourself. Well, you sit on single gen. There were 3.
The person talking right now is Nap Knight, smaller streamer, defending himself on his stream.
Fucking gens left on the map. 1 gen was 99. The sheer amount of viewers and streaming and you people like this, man. I did not hump a single person. Can you link the clip where I humped? Link it.
I'm gonna close their tab. It's not fun. This guy is whining like a little bitch and does not want to admit anything they're doing.
That's small.
What do you mean? That's small dick behavior. Oh. Oh, I bet they grew up without a father.
Behavior. It's okay. It happens. That's why you only have 18 viewers.
Yeah, true. It's 2 partnered streamers in a single chat. It's too much for him to handle, unfortunately.
You open his stream, the first thing you say is like, "Oh, of course it's a white guy." I'm like,
Dumb fucking looking white man.
Dumb looking white man. Yeah. The usual.
oh boy.
Like, it wasn't racist. I just, you know, he looks very privileged and he uses the way he talks tells a lot about how much privilege he has.
Oh my god, she's retarded. I only said GG VP. Well played as well. But I guess I deserve them coming to my chat to harass me because I ended up getting 3 kills and deserve to be called prepubescent white boy among other slurs. Yeah, they're horrible people.
Prepubescent white boy.
I said that his penis is very small.
What a bunch of wholesome people, right?
Yeah, a bunch of... Man, those people... These kind of people deserve nothing but ignoring. I agree, Matty. I agree.
Get into this mess. So look, Dead by Daylight's a very popular game. I'm sure you know how it works. Just in case you don't, there's 4 players trying to avoid a killer, right? The quote-unquote smaller streamer, Napnide, is the killer, and he's after Bub and her 3 friends. He quite literally wiped the floor with them, okay? He absolutely
Which isn't hard, the 2 of them are women.
Destroyed them. And additionally, they were accusing him of humping them, which is the equivalent of something like teabagging in games like Halo or Call of Duty. It's seen as toxic. So they went to his stream to, I mean, you know, there's no other way to say it, harass him. They started typing in his chat.
No, during the incident he had 700 followers. Oh, so he got up? Man, I think I need to get banned on Twitch.
Started saying very mean things that we'll get into later. But I mean, honestly, what they just said on stream was insane. Like, the first thing you say is, of course he's a white guy. Like, what? This was, of course, said by Antan, who is the other partner streamer in this equation, along with Baybub. So first thing she says is something about his skin color, then says he is privileged just from the tone of his voice, whatever the hell that means, whatever the hell that means. Then making fun of his view count, saying that, oh, him seeing 2 partnered badges in his chat made him too stressed out, it seems. Which is so ironic because that actually sounds like something a privileged person would say, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he got them there. He completely got them there. Man, these women are so dumb.
The whole thing was done in very poor taste, and that's not how a partnered streamer should behave at all. It goes against TOS on Twitch. Not only does harassment go against TOS, but also as a streamer, especially a partnered streamer, when you talk badly about another streamer on the platform, you also face special...
I think I might be in trouble.
consequences, like maybe a longer ban. So their reasoning was he was being toxic. He was humping them after killing them, which is why they were so mean to him. But Spook and Jukes also included this reply showing that actually this was all fabricated. There was no humping at all.
Oh, so you mean the two women were lying? Look at my face. Do you see how shocked I am about two women lying?
Watch. So here's the killer.
And then you do that.
And they're saying that was humping.
What? Then you
He just picked her up.
hump me, okay.
What?
And this is his point of view. This is him.
You're dead.
He was just trying to pick her up. She was crawling and he was just trying to pick her up. That's humping. That's like the equivalent of teabagging. In what world? I don't know. So
in a fantasy world that they have created in their heads because they are mentally ill. Earlier we watched the nose ring theory videos. I have a theory what's going on here.
this leads us back to Baybub's tweet, which was her saying, oh, no, what I said was out of context. I'm being harassed. This is a hate campaign against me. By the way, she got community noted if you didn't notice. Bub the Law was caught on clips harassing the other streamer and also using racist remarks of course, it's a white man. Linking the clip we saw from Spook and Jukes. I do want to quickly point out that the community note is wrong here. The person who said, of course it's a white man, was Antan, not Baybub, but everything else is correct. Baybub then continues, as soon as the game was over, me and my friends moved on, but this person kept talking about me making up things I don't understand. Why am I being punished for something where I am not in the wrong? This feels very wrong and unfair, Twitch support. I will be appealing with my point of view tomorrow. Yet another community note shows up here saying, Bub is deliberately lying. They were talking about him in the next games as well.
Oh, who could have guessed more lying from the woman? And yes, I'm very deliberately saying that, you know, oh, women lie. Because they do. I have never met a woman that's not lying about everything and everyone. I've never met a woman that's not talking shit about their best friends. Ever. That's just how women are.
Linking the same clip, and I think this is referencing how even after the game ended, in the end game screen, they were still talking about it. Then Baybub said, person who claims I said the quoted below are not right. Certain cited things were never said by any of my friends. I did say only he has probably small dick by sitting on a single generator, or that he seems like an asshole, but that is the only things that came out of my mouth. As you can see, the accusations here are that she and her friends said all these things. There's a lot of things here that I personally have not heard from the clips.
Yeah, we haven't seen that either.
That were shared. So some things might be exaggerated, but honestly at this point they don't have to be exaggerated because what I've heard already is enough to deem her a terrible person. Then she says, I would like to also say that this person, and just so you know, when she says person here, she means the person she harassed. She says, this person kept encouraging their audience to come over to my stream to report me and making allegations that I sent army from my stream to his chat, which is a lie. The only people who came to his chat was Xim, Antan, and then after 2 minutes, myself. Again, dude, it's like, you harassed someone, you were mean to them. Honestly, if he actually told his audience to go report you, he's in the right. Let's just make that one clear.
Yeah, he would be in the right, of course. She's really dumb, which is not surprising.
Clear. Then she continues, also kind of funny that this person suddenly is hiding their VODs private and subs only. Surely they have nothing to hide in this VOD. Why would they make VODs private otherwise? As of August 23rd, they're not. Hers are though. I wonder why.
I wonder why.
One last thing. Though this wrongful ban from that person, I don't support or encourage people in going after the person that got me banned. Yeah, it's upsetting, but I don't want you guys going hunting them down or wish them death threat. This will get resolved. If not, we meet again in 7 days. So yeah, the classic don't harass them, guys, even though that's literally what you did to get banned. This is so ironic, dude.
She's a retard.
Stupid. And of course, I don't think there's a single reply here that is siding with her, okay? There's not a single one. Everyone is against her, saying, no, we caught you in 4K. There's no way you actually stand by this. Like, actually crazy. And on the post from the streamer bans account saying that Baebub got banned, you can see her partnered streamer friend Antan saying, totally not deserved. One idiot encouraged his viewers to mass report her for a game is such a joke.
And of course she's lying. Because we know this is a lie. We have seen the videos. They are the aggressors. Oh.
Again, really not making it better for her or for her friend. And then added, totally unfair to see Twitch support siding with someone who is lying about everything and still get punished for speaking back. Free my girl, she's all I have, what the fuck. So both Antan and Baebub were doubling down on this, even though we had clips. Like, we heard everything, we saw everything. The dude didn't do anything. He's just a smaller streamer who is better than you at a video game.
Yeah.
They still were doubling down here. And now everyone caught wind of this, right? Many drama channels were talking about it in VTubing circles. A lot of people were aware of this, and they were not gonna let them get away with it. As all of this was going on, Napnight, the streamer who was harassed in this situation, posted this statement replying to Baebub's initial tweet, saying this: giving my 2 notes about this since I am again getting messages, follows, and join requests of
Yo Keith, hope you're doing good.
Your viewers in my server. I just want to be left alone, just like I wanted to be left alone then. Victimizing yourself and twisting the truth here is not doing any good. At the end of the day, you came to my stream while viewing it in yours when I said, good games, well played, and told that you guys were very good at the game and gave me quite a tough match. Your co-streamers also mentioned that they want to come and annoy me in your live stream beforehand. You quickly joined her in my chat with malicious intent. Your co-streamers mentioned that I should get shot hours after matching up with me while you hyped her. All this just because you lost in a video game. So I should mention here, I didn't see this clip, but if he's talking about it, he has no reason to lie, right? That's
the thing. He actually doesn't have a reason to lie. He just said he could have just not said that, and it still would look horrible for the others. So why make something additionally up?
Insane to actually say that over a game on Twitch as a partnered stream. That's fucking crazy to me. Anyway, he continues. Your point of view and all the stuff I mentioned was sent to Twitch. You cutting these parts out of it and resending them to Twitch doesn't change anything. I would suggest you take the 7-day ban and try to remember good etiquette next time you are streaming without making fun of smaller streamers and their skin color, accent, penis size, how they look, nor come to their chat to shame them for just starting out on Twitch. Do better, all the best, Nap. P.S. Feel free to watch my point of view of the match and see for yourself how polite I was during the whole time. It is just a video game. Nothing justifies your behavior here. I can confirm this because I watched Nap's point of view. He was very polite. There was no weird behavior from him. He was just playing the game, man. But of course, this clip of them saying...
So he isn't as toxic as I am, because I can get quite toxic. I know that.
That he should get, normally I would have actually watched the VODs of both Antan and Baebub to find that clip in particular, but they have both set their VODs to subscribers only, which means I have to pay money to watch them. I am not about to give them a fucking dime, bro. There's no way I'm giving them a cent. So you know what? I'm gonna take Nap's word for it. The fact that they said that is insane. Additionally, we have a screenshot here that shows us some of the things that Baebub said in Nap Knight's chat. Like, for example, sorry, we didn't mean to bring more viewers over, you clearly aren't worth it. Become a better person, and you can even see...
It's just us three from the game, nobody else is here.
I think one of Baebub's friends, Simco, saying, it's just us 3 from the game, nobody else is here, indicating that this is a dead stream and that this person shouldn't even be streaming. They're a waste of space, right?
Yeah, these people are pieces of shit. It's very, very simple that they are. I'm not toxic? Some things I say when I get after I got shot in Arc Raiders, not good.
The person who tweeted this, these message logs, got blocked by Antan immediately, which should say a lot. Now, to everyone's surprise, Streamer Bans did another tweet that said Twitch partner Baybub has been unbanned after 2 days, 2 hours and 14 minutes. This means that the ban appeal she had sent Twitch worked out. Twitch saw her as innocent, which is ridiculous.
Of course Twitch is ridiculous. Twitch is run by retards.
Entire reply section was against this, some saying that she should be banned permanently. It was a very unpopular decision from Twitch. But Baybub was celebrating like nothing had happened, trying to move on from this like she was really the victim. Again, her replies painted a very different picture, with everyone saying that Twitch really screwed up here and that she shouldn't be on the platform. She streamed a couple of times after being unbanned. And of course, a lot of people were criticizing her in her chat. So eventually on August 15th...
Oh my god, here it comes. Temper tantrum. Please, a temper tantrum. What have you been reacting to? A lot of stuff already, actually. We are almost in for 3 hours, so a lot. A lot. One was the downfall of cinema.
3 days after being unbanned, she made this tweet saying, "I will be taking a few days off."
The people have won.
"I am not a drama frog, but certain people love milking things. Believe what you want to believe. I will not stop you, but there is always other side of the coin. I'm sorry to whoever my actions caused harm, even though it wasn't meant with hostility." And
yes, it was. Yes, it was, very obviously.
Again, dude, I think this might be the most community noted person I've ever seen in a video of mine. Like, another community note.
This video is from 1 year ago. It got worse. Way worse.
It says, "Bub is trying to downplay her harassment and racist remarks that she and her friend Antan Desu caused towards a smaller streamer due to them losing a match in Dead by Daylight against the other party." Again, linking the clip of them being very weird towards Nap Night. Baybub then replies to this tweet with another bigger statement. This is a Discord post she made in her server saying, "I won't tag at everyone. If you feel like reading this, go ahead. You may have seen the tweet targeted at my side. It is clear a certain person we won't name is holding strong personal grudge against me."
Who? Who? I wonder who she's meaning. Like literally who?
It is really sad to see, even more sad that a lot of things are twisted and clips are taken out of context to make me look the worst. Nope, they really don't have to be taken out of context to make you look bad.
They literally don't. It's very obvious.
You did it yourself. She continues, "I'm not saying I'm innocent in the whole matter. Certain things were said mainly by my friends and I could have and should have stopped them. Certain people in this world are more sensitive to some stuff being said, even though they are harmless, but that is how things are."
Harmless? Even I don't think the stuff I'm saying is harmless. Because, you know, I can be very, very cruel and mean. I know that.
Again, she's now tripling down on the fact that she did nothing wrong. She continues, "To be completely honest, I'm not good with these situations. It is not good for anyone's mental. I will not be interacting with the said post because that is pretty much what those people want. I had said my side of the story, and out due respect of the other party, I did not ever include any clips to stain their reputation or make it seem like I'm targeting them / harassing them, even though the evidence..."
So she's talking about the small streamer. She's making this out that he is coming after her, which he isn't. He completely isn't. I've seen no evidence for that so far. Zero.
Is clear in there. She has to be schizophrenic at this point, right? Like, there's no way she's doing this and thinking it's a good idea. What is she talking about? What clips could she possibly find of Nap Night that make him look bad at this situation? There are none. Next thing she says is this: "Once more, for the very last time, I never sent anyone to target the said individual." You didn't have to, because you sent yourself to his chat to target him, as well as your friends.
Exactly.
So this doesn't make any sense to include. She continues, "However, as of current time, it is clear this person won't stop until I'm stomped completely to the ground, and they even went the length to report some of my sub emotes to get them taken down, showing them. I never said go after them being Nap Night, because there's nothing I hate more than bullying."
Yeah, that's a lie. That's 100% a lie.
Oh my god, dude. This is insane. Yeah, she continues. However, as of now, I am the one who is getting attacked and forced to take the blame for everything, even things that did not come out of my mouth, cornered and stained and pointed fingers at. It is not very healthy for me to continue streaming with the current situation. My content does not resonate around drama, and if you watch me or even tuned in, you are well aware what kind of person I am.
A bad one.
Because situation is as it is, I feel I cannot even defend myself because it will just look like I'm making excuses, so I will just disappear if that is what people really want.
Yes.
If it makes the world better place, then be it. I just really like injustice like this because I really feel wronged. Love you guys. So look, it's clear English is not a first language. I feel like Google Translate would have done a better job, especially with that last sentence.
Damn.
But she's pretty much saying she hates injustice and she feels wronged. She's being framed. She's being attacked for no reason other than just existing and being a wholesome streamer. And man, a tear is running down my cheek right now. But
yeah, boy.
This is delusion to the highest level. It's insane. But that delusion did not last because 2 days after posting this on August 17th, she finally came out with an apology.
Oh. Now this is surprising. I guess the money is running tight.
With 1,000 replies. Yeah, of course, this is controversial. Here's what she had to say about this. I want to start off by sincerely apologizing to Napnight. Wow, took you a while. Finally. As a streamer and the one broadcasting the content.
She doesn't mean it. I can tell you just by her being a woman.
I'm responsible for the guest I invite to my broadcast, and of course for the way I react to what is being said, be it idle, going along with it, as were in this case, or taking appropriate measures to prevent or stop the harmful situation, which was the right course of action I was expected to take, but did not. The insult I referred to you as was uncalled for, and in the heat of the moment of the accumulated frustration from previous matches that I ended up wrongly taking out on you. As a partnered streamer, I meant to help, support, and encourage other creators and be someone they can look up to, especially to be in control of my emotions and how I act upon them. However, I was far from being such a person, and I am ashamed of it. In my content, I have always put emphasis.
She isn't ashamed. How do I know it? By everything she said and wrote before.
On creating a safe space and being a comfort zone to others, which is definitely not what I displayed there. I have let all of you down by avoiding the importance of the matter and the immoral behavior I showed in the recent days. Every time I find a new game to stream, I get very passionate about it. Dead by Daylight is a hidden gem I discovered a few months back. It is a game I'm very fond of playing and I like to get better at it. The way I reacted to the situation with lack of sportsmanship and wrongful conduct takes the joy away from the game to others. I would like to apologize to my community and my supporters. I'm thankful to the people who see the good in me through this mistake. And then she ends it by saying, it is now clear to me that the harsh statements that were said were hurtful and not deserved towards him. In the past days, I have been going through comments, messages, as well as the video focusing on what happened with other points of view. What was done is wrong. I was wrong, and I fear that I have become someone that does not match the standards I believe should be upheld. I'm sorry to you, Napnight, and everyone I let down. I believe the best step for me to take right now is to reflect on my own actions.
Why is there even the thing about everyone I let down? If you want to say sorry to this other streamer, that's fine, but everyone that I let down, why is that even in there? Because it sounds good. That's why. If I want to apologize to someone that I wronged, whatever, I apologize to them, not to anyone else, to them. Because that's what you do if you're sincere.
And behavior and return once I see myself being who I once was before I lost my way, and only once I am able to stand with the values that I believe in. Sincerely, Bob. So yeah, I'd say this is a standard apology, but it definitely came way too late, and only after she had not just doubled down, but tripled down on the fact that she had done nothing wrong, making it very controversial. This is why it doesn't really appear sincere. It appears to have been made out of obligation rather than sincerity. And you can see the same opinion of mine reflected in...
Yeah, that came out because she wants to make money as a streamer. That's why that is there.
Many of the replies, right? With some people saying that, oh, personally, if it was up to me, I'd unpartner you immediately from Twitch. With some funny comments like, this is a safe space for everyone to feel comfortable. 5 minutes later, oh, of course it's a white man, lol.
Yeah.
She's not about to get away with this, and a lot of people are gonna hold her accountable even after this apology. But of course, there was another elephant in the room. People were also holding Antan accountable. The other partner,
good
streamer in this equation, and the person who had made the whole white man privileged comment. She was blocking pretty much anyone who had something to say about her or Babub. Something substantial, because compared to Babub's 10,000 followers on Twitter,
Evil Overlord. Man, she's telling on herself in her own description. Head of an evil corporation, artist streamer. Evil Overlord, head of an evil corporation. A perfect description of a character, yes. I mean, what am I supposed to say?
she had way more presence on this platform. She had actually posted her apology on August 16th, 2024, one day before Babub's apology.
Oh, don't tell me she's French. Oh my god.
But the reason why I left this till the end is because it got community noted. It is a very controversial apology.
Great.
So let's read it, okay? Make up your opinion on it, and then let's look at the community note as well as the almost 1,000 replies to this post.
This is gonna be great.
Let's do it. The post starts off in French, saying Bonjour tout le monde, j'ai demandé l'aide d'un ami pour m'aider à vous écrire aujourd'hui et j'espère qu'un jour vous me pardonnerez. So in English, this means, hey everyone, I asked a friend to help me write this today and I hope that one day you'll be able to forgive me. Then the rest is in English, and she says, as I've been sick for the past week and just have been released from the hospital, today I find I have...
Immediately pity farming. Immediate pity farming. Why is that even there? Why does this matter? Because she wants people to feel sorry for her.
Have to speak of these events publicly. That's a very interesting way to start your statement. Guys, if you've been on the internet long enough, you know that when someone starts off their apology with a pity party, it's gonna be real juicy.
Yeah.
You're just fishing for sympathy. This isn't about you. This is about your behavior towards a smaller streamer. Then she says, I'm not here to defend myself because we all act a certain way when our past trauma is triggered. Oh my god. But I don't want my poor...
She digs even deeper for the sympathy. This is so disgusting. Just say you're sorry, you dumb...
Health and past trauma to be an excuse. That's why you mentioned it. I want it to be a way for me to keep growing in the best version of myself that I always strive for. I want to say first and foremost, I'm sorry to my community and I'm thankful and grateful to the people that are aware of who I am as a person and know that a little misunderstanding doesn't define me or make me a bad person. I made a mistake which made me only human. I'm really not that great at talking or fighting in general. It's not something I do by nature, only if I had no choice but to defend myself.
Now that's a bold lie. A very bold lie.
Dead by Daylight is very much outside my comfort zone as a game, and being new to it, I wasn't aware of a lot. I come from a different culture. I grew up speaking French and Arabic, and as an African, I have dealt with all sorts of racism.
Oh. So that's why she's so racist. And you know, funniest thing? Her character has white skin. Oh. She must hate herself.
Here we fucking
Which is understandable.
Oh. The shame and the anger I felt finding out I was using a derogatory slur was beyond me. I'm truly sorry, as for the whole entire time, I never thought it meant more than what it is, a description or a person with lighter skin tones.
That's a lie. I 100% believe that's a lie.
I'm so very sorry for this. Yeah, dude, it's just a description. You know, like if I open a stream right now and I'm like, ugh, of course it's a black guy.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I'm sorry. I just thought I was describing his skin tone. That's it. I was just describing the person, you know? It sounded like I was disgusted. No way. No. You completely misunderstood me. I'm sorry. I wasn't aware. She continues. In French, it has a more playful tone. Un blondinet riche. Blondinet is literally just a boy or a girl with blonde hair. That's it. The second word she was describing, riche, just simply means rich. Regardless of whether it's a French expression, I can't confirm or deny, guys. I'm not French. I just live in the country. There was an undeniable tone of disgust when she said, ugh, of course he's a white guy. So
a poor guy living in that country. Oh my god. But then I'm living in Germany, so...
Regardless if an expression is meant to be playful, when you say it with disgust, of course, all of a sudden it becomes racist. I mean, I think that's just common sense. She says, this is why I wasn't understanding my wrongdoing about it, and I don't think I will ever apologize enough for it, but I can assure you it won't ever be a part of my vocabulary as I do not condone nor support racism. I mean, she still said, oh, he's a privileged white guy, he's so privileged, so I don't believe this, personally.
No one should, and no one... I hope no one does. She's just lying. She's just lying to save her ass. The usual.
I really don't. I just believe that she never thought it was racist. She still doesn't think it's racist, but only because people pointed it out, she's apologizing for it. She then continues, not to the point of discussing his numbers. This one was very low of me, and I don't even know how it actually came out of my mouth. I'm just ashamed. Not because...
I bet she also doesn't know how a lot of things getting into her mouth. If you get what I mean.
People found out, but because I felt bad for even saying that. Which is why I attempted to contact the person in question and apologize, which was in vain. With no way to reach them, I hope that this amazing community will deliver my message. So, okay, here's the funny thing. In Napnight's reply, right, his initial reply to Beba, someone asked this after Antan's apology on August 16th, linking her post and asking, did she really try to reach out to you to apologize? And then Napnight said, hi, not really, has had me blocked ever since I answered her tweet. So I guess he's referencing this right here. And I'm pretty sure this person asking
who could have guessed? Who could have?
This question actually got blocked by Antan because you're unable to view the post they quote tweeted. She has just been blocking everyone. Anyway, she then continues, Napnight, after rewatching your VODs, I realized we share a deep pain that only someone with the same deep cut could understand. It made me feel angry at first because I didn't understand it, but now I can see your pain. Your past doesn't define you. I'm sorry I wasn't a better encounter to you, a new friendship, or just a new gaming buddy. Instead, I was a bully, which is unacceptable, and that's why I apologize and hope nothing but the best for you. I'm so very sorry for my actions that were a one-time thing. I can assure you, just like you've never heard of me before, you won't ever hear from me again. So yeah, this post...
Well, yeah, if you blocked him, yeah, I guess.
Post comes off as very insincere, but what doesn't help is the community note absolutely...
Because it is insincere.
Cooking Antan to ashes. It says, someone that is genuinely sorry wouldn't be reveling in their acts while diminishing and blocking people. After it became quite the problem, the apology was released. Also, to justify racism because one experienced it is not okay. End the cycle of violence. Linking this tweet right here, which showed what she said to the streamer ban message.
Oh my god, it's getting even worse. And we are almost at the end, and it's still getting worse.
Saying that Bebub got banned. And interestingly enough, the person who posted this image on August 16th, the day Antan apologized, got blocked by Antan simply for just having a different opinion. So I don't think anyone in the replies believes this. And we see Spook and Jukes here yet again saying this. While some of this apology does appear genuine, the part where you say, a little misunderstanding doesn't define me is what I'm having trouble with. How is this a misunderstanding? You harass someone and shame them for their viewer/appearance. There's no misunderstanding. And yeah, some others also point out the fact that...
Yeah, she's just trash. Who's surprised? Not me.
Half or more of this was just her talking about herself and her trauma. That's not gonna work. The consequences of all this were catastrophic to both Bebub and
Oh,
Antan.
nice.
Antan hasn't streamed in 11 days, and Baybub hasn't streamed in 7 days. It doesn't seem like they'll really be able to recover their careers and public image. I think they might come back maybe in a couple more weeks or a month.
Well, let's take a look. I said let's take a look.
It's gonna be like my last outfit with the Choco Mama. So
Please stop. Please stop. Let's Beeboop. Beeboop. It doesn't exist anymore. Okay. Absolutely just doesn't exist. Good. And the other was
days. Catastrophic. That's not
just
gonna work. The consequences of all this were catastrophic to both Baybub and
Antan. So Beeboop doesn't exist now. Antan. There she is. Uh, 5 days ago. Okay, she still exists. Okay. Just checking.
Antan. Antan hasn't streamed in 11 days, and Baybub hasn't streamed in 7 days. It doesn't seem like they'll really be able to recover their careers and public image. I think they might come back maybe in a couple more weeks or a month. But of course, when it comes to being able to collaborate with others or even just participate in the broader community, they'll definitely have a very hard time making any new friends from now on. That's for sure. On the other end of the spectrum, though, Nap Knight is sitting at almost 9,000 followers, and hopefully,
Nice.
after this video comes out, maybe he can reach 10,000 followers. It's a huge follower gain because when they bullied him, he had
That's massive.
700 followers. He has gained over 8,000, and he keeps gaining every single day. Very well deserved. And hopefully one day he'll have more followers than those two bullies so that they can't even bully him about that anymore.
Would be nice.
You know, these are my favorite stories, guys. Clear villains, a victim, and a happy ending for the victim, a very bad ending for the villains. Isn't that wonderful? You know, you
Yes.
get a story like this every once in a while, and of course, when I see it, I'll make a video about it. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you had a good laugh or were just entertained by this.
Oh, we were.
I also
At least
stream
I
on
was.
Twitch, Mugen Official. Come by and say hi. We have a great time, and I will see you in the next video. I love you so much.
This was fun.
Stay safe out there. Mwah.
Isn't this a perfect thumbnail? Actually, take a screenshot. There, that's gonna be the thumbnail. That's going to be a thumbnail. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Mugen. And I'm going for a quick toilet break. Wow. Ow. Oh, my ears. God dang it. Hello, Maxine. There's not a lot going on. We just reacting to shit. Yes, we are reacting to stuff. Literal stuff. Right, we've already watched this. I actually wanted to... I wanted to do something. Right, there was. Can you react to a browser game? Sure. You sound German. I am. I am German. How is the game called? Tell me how the game is called. I know it's not Conquer 2, but how's it called? Give me the name. I mean, it's fine if I react to a video, right? And not to the actual game. Because I'm not gonna play a game. A browser game. Because I'm too busy. I'm literally too busy with other stuff. Valdas Neocities. Oh. That's actually... Neocities. Wait, what? It isn't well known, but I can tell. I can tell. I think I have to Google this. And yes, I just Googled Google. Oh, so it's this, okay. I guess. Oh, yeah. The second one. The second one, not this. That's the second one. It literally looks the same to me. Someone's getting banned. Man. Well. So much for that. So much for that. As if I wouldn't have contingency plans. So, where were we? Right, watch later. What do we... Let's watch a retard. So this guy got prison for blackmailing a YouTuber for millions. Fun times. Fun times.
This YouTuber was arrested and sentenced to prison for being a part of a conspiracy to blackmail one of the biggest mukbang influencers in the world. So it's safe to say we have one of the more insane stories that I've covered this year. Despite the widespread coverage of this both on the internet in Asia and on the mainstream news in Korea, I have not seen any Western publications really talk too much about this, as I could only find a handful of English videos actually talking about this situation, which made things slightly trickier researching this because, you know, all the sources are Korean, so I had to translate everything myself and piece everything together. But I will say, it was absolutely worth it because this is such a wild story. So, meet Lee Jun-hee, aka Gu Ji-yuk, which in English translates to foot and mouth disease. I'm not joking. And this guy is a South Korean YouTuber who gained public attention in 2021 after exposing a major scandal involving one of Korea's biggest streaming platforms and a controversial altcoin. And this case later on became known as Africa TV CoinGate. There's some fascinating names here. But anyway, at first, I was skeptical that that was the actual translation of his name, foot and mouth disease. But apparently this sentence does in fact mean foot and mouth disease. I say as someone who doesn't speak Korean, I'm just really relying on translators here, but that's what it seems like to me at least. And the name is just scratching the surface because just like in basically all my videos, it's all downhill from here. And the main reason the story has such a conspiracy vibe surrounding it is because at its...
It's going to get worse. Well, who could have guessed? I hope it's going to be fun.
Core, it started as a conspiracy, and the more we learn about this man's history and the controversies he's been involved with, the more troubling it all becomes. Because at first, we kind of just have to start from the beginning. In the past, foot and mouth disease, his YouTube channel was completely different to what it was right now. Now, most of his videos aren't public anymore, but you can see how diverse his content was. He used to do food reviews, experiments, song covers, and apparently even gaming. I feel like we've all been there before, at least with the gaming aspect. I used to be a gaming channel back in the day. Not a good one, but hey, we made it out of the trenches. And even though he didn't have many subscribers, he did at least have a good image attached to him. Not only did he upload consistently, but you'd often see him taking care of his mother, who was suffering from dementia, showing a very different side of Lee, in those days at least. Then, in 2020, Lee, or foot and mouth disease, he started dabbling into making commentary-like videos, sometimes reporting on local news, sometimes giving his opinion on global and South Korean politics, and other times talking about celebrities. And out of everything that he did, the commentary videos definitely got the most views. However,
okay, yeah, kind of the same here, yeah.
However, foot and mouth disease's approach was very different from, say the least, the commentary videos we make here on this channel. Because rather than addressing the information and laughing about the stupid stuff that went down on the internet, this guy had a very different approach. Because essentially, he just picked people out and attacked them, even though in many cases, they didn't even deserve it. And no wonder his—
Oh, who could have guessed? Who could have guessed?
His image started to worsen. Because it seems like he was an even more edgy Leafy is here, but only attacking celebrities and political people in South Korea. And often the ways he attacked people wasn't really rooted in facts either. It was often kind of like, oh, I heard this, so I'm gonna start a rumor based on what I heard. So it's no wonder that his image started to worsen from there on out, because this is where things start to get pretty insane. Because what made things a little bit more interesting was there was also a particular hint of backroom dealings with his videos, where some would be, I guess, secretly deleted after some time. So yeah, it's not like this guy has made the best career choices throughout the years. In fact, South Korean users actually invented a term to describe the foot and mouth disease type of content, which
okay, here we go,
is called apparently cyber wrecking. And this is apparently where you essentially make up false speculations about someone else popular and then include a bunch of personal attacks that the target doesn't want on the internet. And this is apparently what the people in South Korea call cyber wreckers. Their main targets tend to be famous influencers and South Korean celebrities. In particular, foot and mouth disease became a very hot topic not too long ago after Nana, a South Korean actress and former singer of the girl group After School, publicly announced that she was suing him for spreading false information about her.
The question has been answered.
Good for her.
Nana, an actress from the group After Departure, has sued YouTuber Koo Jae-hyuk, who was recently arrested for blackmailing a YouTuber Chiang to extort money from her. She accused him of spreading falsehoods about her personal life. This is what Nana posted on social media on the 24th. I filed a lawsuit and said that I will respond strongly without any punishment. So if you chose me as a provocative issue, you chose me very well. I said I would show you in person. He wrote, "Who does Jae-hyuk Koo know me?" and warned of legal action against him. Earlier, Koo Jae-hyuk spoke with Kim Si-hee, the CEO of the YouTube channel Garosero Research Institute, and said that Nana had a deep kiss with the businessman and influencer. Friends allegedly recommended drugs.
Man, I think that's AI translated. Or at least, you know, the voiceover is bad.
Koo Jae-hyuk is currently in custody and awaiting trial for allegedly extorting tens of millions of won by blackmailing the foodie YouTuber.
And his latest target, and probably the one who has got him into the most trouble until now, was Chu Yang, who is one of the biggest mukbang creators in South Korea and honestly in the world, because she has over 10 million subscribers. And apparently, who would have known? When you try to extort millions of won from someone while recording everything on your phone, things don't normally end too well. And that is exactly what happened here. Because on July 10th, 2024, during a live broadcast on the official channel of Garosero Institute,
he either said something or showed something that, you know, shows he is lying. Or, you know, doing the extortion thing.
which is an alternative Korean news channel known for covering a lot of controversial topics, they revealed that 3 famous YouTubers were involved in a scheme blackmailing Chu Yang. And they were actually one of the first media outlets to report on this case, even before Chu Yang herself publicly discussed it on her channel. These 3 YouTubers not only allegedly worked together on this scheme, but they also had this kind of like secret group of their own, which was apparently called the Online Tow Truck Mutual Aid Association.
Now that's a retarded name. Really, really dumb. Why am I even... I'm not even really surprised. I mean, stupid people do stupid things.
That included foot and mouth disease, Jeon Guk-jin, and Karakula. And apparently a couple other creators, but that's not really that relevant to us right now because they were never brought up into the trial. But the Garosero Institute also allegedly revealed how much they had extorted from her. At this stage, the amount was already more than tens of millions of won on the condition that they would not reveal Chu Yang's past to the public. For context, 10 million won is about $7,500. And
I'm more interested what's so bad about her past. That's the actual interesting part.
Shortly after this news broke, Chu Yang herself came forward and revealed that she had also been a victim of not only extortion, but this past that she wanted to hide was her being a victim of dating violence, threats, actively being robbed by her ex-boyfriend, and forced to work in the last 4 to 5 years of her life.
Popular mukbang YouTuber known as Jiang, whose real name is Park Jong-won, has alleged she was subjected to physical assault and blackmail by a former boyfriend over several years. Now, some YouTubers have even threatened her to expose her ordeal. The prosecution has now initiated an investigation into these YouTubers.
And this is where I guess foot and mouth is.
Number one, she didn't do anything wrong. And that's pretty much it. She didn't do anything wrong. And she's ashamed of, you know, well, having been in that situation, I guess. Yeah. But the moment someone would come, yeah, if you give me money or I tell everyone what happened to you, yeah, that would be over for me. I would just go, oh, okay, yeah. And off to the police I go. It's that simple.
Zed starts to panic because he then released a statement through his YouTube channel's community tab trying to defend himself, in which he subtly suggested that this whole incident was nothing more than a misunderstanding. And then he went on to guarantee once he had all the cards on the table that everyone would be able to understand his side of the story. And here it says, I apologize for not being able to protect Chu Zhang's right to be forgotten. I swear to heaven that I never did anything shameful and I did my best to protect Chu Zhang's right to be forgotten.
How? Then why did you even talk about it? Makes no sense.
I currently have complete interviews with the victims and all the people involved, and I will tell you everything by tomorrow morning at the latest. I will say this once again, I did not receive any extortion money and I did not blackmail anyone. If you had heard the illegally obtained audio recordings, you would have known all the conversations between Chu Zhang and me. But I will not forgive those scumbags who exposed Chu Zhang's painful wounds to the world just to explain themselves. Please, wait just one day. As always, I will win if I go all the way. And I guess up until this point, he kept his word, because as promised, the next day he uploaded a new video on his channel discussing his side of the Chu Yang case. And even though this video has now been deleted, which is a little bit
how convenient for him,
but ironic as well, he claimed that he actually acted as a double agent. Clearly, he's not the bad guy here. He was just a double agent, ladies and gentlemen.
Of course.
He was using immoral means to protect Chu Yang all along. Okay, right. I guess that makes sense. No, it doesn't make sense at all. This guy, foot and mouth disease, essentially never had anything to do with Chu Yang in the first place. Because before these recent events, they had no direct connection to each other. It's not like they had any history together at all, because they don't. They've never met. But still, the Garosera Institute reported that foot and mouth disease was extorting Chu Yang based on leaking information about her past. However, how would he ever know anything about Chu Yang's past if he's never been there before? So, of course, he had some sort of informant, which is why I guess he claimed to be acting as this double agent. Because in addition to his statements, in his latest video, he also showed the transcript of a contact that he supposedly made with either Chu Zhang or Chu Yang's management team. And here's the kicker. So to keep everything that he knew a secret and to reveal the identity of this informant only to Chu Yang herself, they would have to pay him around 55 million won, which in terms of this incident is no different from saying he just sold out his informant's personal information for about $40,000. And then he went on to claim that he tried his best to hide Chu Zhang's past, but thankfully the people in the comments, they were awake and they were like, this sounds pretty conflicting, dude, because hey, if you really cared and wanted to protect all of this, he would have just deleted all the relevant recordings instead of keeping them as they were as, you know, potential blackmail. So it's safe to say, in the end, his self-proclaimed double agent story kind of backfired on him in a way that he honestly probably didn't even expect. Essentially,
who could have guessed that the idiot doesn't expect things to backfire at him? Is anyone really surprised by this?
he burned the bridges with both parties over here. Both the informant and with Chu Zhang and her team. TLDR, he dug his own grave, and that is if the double agent story is remotely true. But things got even worse for him when Chu Zhang, along with her—
Oh, good, good. I hope it went very badly for him. Oh, this is good. This is nice.
her attorney team publicly announced that they were suing Foot and Mouth Disease and the other two members of the Online Tow Truck Association, and apparently was going for this case with no leniency. So then in response, Foot and Mouth Disease uploaded a new video on his channel titled, "I will submit my golden phone to the 3rd Criminal Division of the Seoul Central District Prosecutor's Office and voluntarily appear." And he did. But I guess the guy got a little bit ahead of himself because he did that before the prosecution even started investigating him. So there was—
Huh. What's going on here?
Wasn't really too much they could do yet. And apparently a golden phone over there is a term to describe a phone which someone stores specific information. In this case, it means the 17,000 recorded phone calls between Foot and Mouth Disease and the other people. But it's safe to say that things—
17,000? Wow. I didn't have that many phone calls in my entire life combined.
Things got really bad for him on July 16th, 2024, when the attorney
But I also have no social life, so yeah, you know.
Representing Chu Zhang in court appeared on the CBS Radio's Kim Hwan-jun's news show and stated that the claim that Foot and Mouth Disease was a double agent, that was false. After that, they could do nothing more than surrender and publicly admit that they had really attempted to extort Chu Zhang.
In a new development, those who are accused of threatening Jiang have suddenly changed their stance. They admitted to demanding and accepting money in exchange for not disclosing her past.
YouTubers who blackmailed Ziyang offered their apologies. Tonguk Jin, who runs a YouTube channel that supposedly verifies unfounded rumors, uploaded a video of his apology on his channel.
So he's a piece of shit.
He said he had suggested extorting money from Ziyang when another YouTuber, Kujeok, was about to expose her past. In his apology, Chun admitted he had received 3 million won, roughly $2,100 from Ziyang's management agency. Ziyang took legal action after telling the public about how she suffered violence in the past. This comes a day after YouTube suspended the monetization for the channels run by so-called cyber records.
Ooh. Rare YouTube W, I guess.
YouTubers Karacula and Kuzeyak, who had been claiming they were unfairly accused, offered Ziyang their apologies. Ziyang's legal team warned of additional lawsuits, saying more people had attempted to blackmail her.
So almost 10 days after that, on the afternoon of July 23rd, the Suwon District Prosecutor's Office requested an arrest warrant for Foot and Mouth Disease and Jeon Juk-kin on charges of intimidation and coercion in addition to blackmail. And at around 8 p.m. on July 26, 2024, they had both been arrested. The prosecution stated that Foot and Mouth Disease and Jeon Guk-chin organized themselves and conspired to commit crimes by creating the association called the Korean Online Tow Truck Mutual Aid Association in 2021. And yes, the authorities now acknowledge the existence of this secret group, which is something really interesting. Because even though everyone is aware of this presence today, the idea of like a mutual help association among these like cyber wrecking YouTubers for essentially blackmailing their targets is absolute insane. I have never seen anything like this on YouTube. So it's really interesting seeing all this unfold. This would literally be like if some of the biggest creators in the US bonded together in this like secret group and then started making hit pieces on people and telling them, hey, we will keep releasing more information if you don't pay us.
Well, except for the extortion, that's kind of what some do, you know. Words that I will not name because they will come for me. Just like they come for Asmongold.
That's crazy. But obviously, things got even worse for them. And after the crimes were revealed, they attempted to destroy evidence systematically, such as editing recorded phone calls, uploading videos defaming Chu Zhang, causing secondary damage. And now, I guess, as of pretty recently, actually, in the first trial, they were sentenced to 3 years in prison. But there's a separate trial going on as well. So their next hearing is in September for that one. And here, they could be facing an additional 3 to 5 years. Because here on the mail the Mail business newspaper, it says prosecutors asked the appeals court to sentence Uver foot and mouth disease, real name Lee Jong-hee, who was sentenced to 3 years in prison in his first trial threatening Chu Zhang, real name Park Jong-won, an eating YouTuber with 10 million subscribers, to 4 years in prison. So my understanding here is they want an additional 4 years on top of what already happened in the first trial.
Good. Very good. I like this. They're literally getting more than rapists in Germany. And I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding. That's actually the case.
Here, the prosecution is saying it is questionable whether the defendant sincerely reflects on his second offense, including the denial of the allegations in the
He doesn't care.
Investigation process, the lower court, and the appellate court, and accusing the victim of innocence. And the prosecution also demanded 3 years in prison for the other YouTuber involved here. Okay, so the court sentence is on September 5th for this case, so it'll definitely be interesting to see what happens then. No! That was so stupid. I was trying to get a fly and I spilled Coke all over the room.
That's dumb, yeah. Very dumb. You shouldn't have done that.
The fly is still flying around taunting me. This is awful. But I mean, hey, at least he didn't get scammed by AI Jennifer Aniston like this guy did in this video right here. But other than that,
what a
subscribe
retard.
if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Yep. And we are watching this one right now. Because this is so dumb, it has to be funny.
This man believed he was dating Jennifer Aniston. Even though she's worth nearly $500 million, apparently she needed help paying for her Apple subscription services. I feel like it seems like these stories are popping up more
like you do if you have $500 million, yeah. She's so struggling.
Regularly than influencer apology videos. I mean, at this point, someone needs to make some sort of version of Catfish that focuses solely on these AI relationship scams. Because in this story, we have Paul Davis, a 43-year-old man from Southampton in the UK. So I guess scammers somehow convinced Paul here that Jennifer Aniston, featured on one of the most popular shows of all time, Friends, fell in love with him. And all scammers are awful, but come on, Paul. This is the photo he received from his new love.
How would she even get into contact with him? Think, retard, think.
Lover. Well, now you're probably thinking, haven't we already seen this before? Yeah, we have. Because earlier this year, I covered a woman who divorced her husband and sent $850,000 to a scammer posing as Brad Pitt.
These selfies of Hollywood actor Brad Pitt in the hospital looking sick might fool someone at first glance. But
this was so stupid. We watched this. We reacted to it. So retarded. The woman deserved to lose all the money.
Look more closely and something's not quite right.
Now, clearly, the same type of story is playing out again, but this time the AI celebrity is Jennifer Aniston. So here's the complete rundown. Paul, who's unemployed.
Which is very funny, actually, because Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston were married. I think they were married. They at least dated, but I think they were married. So that's funny.
And according to articles, was already struggling with depression. He started receiving various Facebook messages from various celebrities. People like Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, and then eventually Jennifer Aniston. Clearly,
of course, all the real people, of course. Nothing suspicious to be seen here. Nothing at all.
he's a popular guy. And realistically, we kind of have to respect Paul's choice, because out of that trio, I don't blame him that he decided to talk to Jennifer Aniston. But now at first, Paul admitted to being skeptical about the whole thing. But after she sent videos saying that she loved him, and even going as far as sending a picture of her driver's license, he was convinced. Because, I mean, who wouldn't be convinced when looking at this absolute masterpiece? Hey, bud.
Let's wait. Why is this broken off? Why is the... This maybe means restrictions, I don't know. And none. Why would there be that photo? Does she even live in California? Huh. I have no clue.
He was convinced. Because, I mean, who wouldn't be convinced when looking at this absolute masterpiece? Hey, bud, you're texting the real Jennifer Aniston. Here's my driver's license. This is how the scam begins. Because after gaining the trust, Jennifer, the AI version, started asking for gift cards because her $300 million net worth apparently could not pay for Apple gift cards.
So it's not $500 million. It's just 300 million. Oh, I'm sorry.
So in the end, Paul ended up sending about 200 pounds in Apple gift cards, which is nearly like $275. And he said, in quote, "I believed it and I paid." I love how nonchalant Paul is about this. But I mean, hey, at least he didn't send like $850,000 like that woman in France did. And, you know, she also divorced her husband. She divorced her husband and sent $850,000 to an AI Brad Pitt. Those guys were making it out like it was a heist compared to this situation.
Yeah, both situations are stupid as hell. Both. Completely retarded. I would never believe anything like that. But the guy actually tried to, you know, verify that it's real. Kind of. But the thing is, AI is getting so good, actually, that it's really hard to tell. Really, really hard.
$275, while it's still too much money to lose to a scammer, it's not like his life isn't over because of that. But thankfully, it wasn't just like a one-message scam. These scumbags put in a lot of effort, sometimes messaging him dozens of times per day for months at a time. They even warned him to not interact with other fake accounts, asking him to delete other chats and not to post publicly, which is also kind of hilarious to think about.
It is hilarious. The scammers warning him of other scammers. Man. And the worst part is that makes it actually more believable. That's the worst part. It does. Because a real person wouldn't want you to get scammed.
Because, like, you have these dudes who are trying to scam him, and they're like, please don't interact with the other scammers. We need the gift cards here. It's just like a bunch of dudes in Paul's DMs competing for the grand prize of some Apple gift cards. And yeah, somehow, just like the other lady's story, this somehow worked. And if you don't remember that story, here's a quick recap of the whole Brad Pitt situation, because this one, it revolves Anne, a French woman who thought Brad Pitt's mother messaged her to say that her son needed a woman in her life, because that's exactly what Brad Pitt needs of. He definitely has a lack of women as options. But Anne here was so convinced that she divorced her husband and sent almost her entire divorce settlement, roughly $850,000, to a fake Brad Pitt, who claimed that he had kidney cancer and his bank accounts were frozen by Angelina Jolie. It's hard.
It doesn't even make sense.
Not to laugh when you read that story, because it's so sad. I feel so bad for Anne that she went through with this. But
why? She deserved it for being so dumb.
But still, come on. Obviously, scammers sent her AI-generated photos, poems, even pictures of her name written out like some...
The thing is, that's not even AI, that's just Photoshop, and not even good ones. This is very obviously fake. This is a stock photo, and they put Brad Pitt's face in there. If that's even Brad Pitt.
Celebrity Valentine's card. But unfortunately...
Same here. You can see it's fake.
For Anne, she finally caught on when she saw real photos of Brad Pitt and his actual girlfriend, Inez de Ramon, circulating online. That's when this whole, I guess, fairy tale ended, and she realized that she's been conned. But unfortunately, the damage was already done. And it's kind of eerie how, like, both of these situations kind of played out in the same way, except for one had life-changing amounts of money, and the other one had a bad night at the casino kind of money. But I mean, just look at these images that Brad and Jennifer sent these people, because how could you not believe this? AI voice samples, fake IDs, emotional pleas, urgency, secrecy, all of that is just designed to hit you right in the feels, and more importantly, the wallet. Paul's story, sadly, is not even unique anymore. It's just a part of a growing trend. Because what used to be some dude in a basement sending poorly written DMs is now an AI-generated celebrity who looks and sounds semi-real, I guess, with videos and documents to back it up. This isn't just like catfishing anymore. This is like celebrity identity fraud at this point. And people, I guess, are falling for it. often older, vulnerable, or lonely people. And
Yes.
all of these people are people who didn't grow up on the internet as it was evolving. Something that
Oh yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem.
might be at least common for the younger generation, like a reverse image search, is just not common knowledge for the older generation. But obviously, this does not include the 15% of the older generation who's actually subscribed to my channel. Clearly, you guys know what's up. But unfortunately,
I think I count in on that. But yeah, I do. I'm literally about the same age as the guy. Oh god.
Fortunately, AI tools are starting to get so good that it's going to be harder and harder to detect if it's actually AI or not. So the
Yes, I have literally seen AI corn that looks awesome. Actually looks awesome. And then I've seen AI corn that's not. But the ones that looks awesome, they look awesome. They are kind of a mix between real stuff and hentai, which is weird. Which is weird. And I only mean that because they look realistic, but they have things you would see in hentai. It is weird.
The world is going to get pretty weird pretty soon. And I guess we're going to have to start relying on like AI detection software tools or basic common sense that unfortunately, normally a massive A-lister celebrity isn't going to hit up a random blue collar dude in England. I guess you can argue and say it actually happened with Lana Del Rey and whoever she just married, but that's not the norm. So clearly...
Who's Lana Del Rey? Never heard that name.
There's a chance. It's just not a big one. But also, like, every message here says my love and includes literal begging for a damn Apple gift card. So, I mean, like, when they didn't get a response, they then sent an AI Jennifer asking for it. I mean, this is just plain and simple praying.
Yeah, this is bad. This is bad. Why would she literally beg a guy for money?
On Paul's loneliness here. Honestly, it's kind of upsetting to see. I do wish I could show the AI clip in question, but
he should just have gotten a love doll. Would have fixed all the problems. All the problems.
Paul unfortunately hasn't made that public, and honestly, that adds up because the guy is probably embarrassed about this whole situation. Nothing worse than realizing that you've been scammed and how obvious to most the scam really was. At least, Paul asked for his license at one point, but that is also honestly as simple as Googling Jennifer Aniston's driver's license.
Yeah.
But according to Paul, the scam went on for a while and no one's actually been punished. He said it's been going on for 5 months. I thought someone would get in trouble for this, but they seem to be having a laugh and getting away with it. And I mean, these scams are just going to be easier and easier to pull off as years go on, because we've seen the fake Keanu Reeves, we've seen the fake Donald Trump, and even AI generated TikTok influencers that don't even exist at all.
Bumbling through brush, my botanical escapade continued.
But he is based on a real person and made by the real person, so
Snagged on leaves, but hey, more crafting supplies. Jackpot. Maze of trees, I'm lost. Joking. Minecraft pros never get lost, or do they?
There's even a fake Keanu Reeves TikTok account that has 8 million followers. Clearly, we have some problems going on. I wonder how many people are following that account that actually think it's real. And there was even a Reddit user by the name of Legal Beagle who fell in love with Claudia, a woman who turned out to be an AI experiment ran by some students. And then you have this gem from earlier this summer where a woman on Reddit revealed that her own mom was getting catfished by an AI deepfake Owen Wilson.
Hello, Sunshine. I'm making this video so you know I'm real and will never do anything to hurt you. I respect you for your patience.
Why is he blinking so much? That would take me off. And the quality is so low. Why?
And understanding since we crossed paths. You're an amazing woman.
Come on. I mean, she wasn't even just getting catfish, she was also being swept off her feet. Because apparently they met while playing Yahtzee online, which is somehow the most innocent and chaotic way to get scammed. This fake Owen started sending her weirdly robotic videos saying things like, I respect you for your patience, horoscope type stuff. At one point...
Yeah, that's so... Yeah, women easily fall for stuff like that because, you know, woman.
He even paid her 7 quid to prove that he was real, which is kind of funny. I mean, hey, I'm the real Owen Wilson. Here's 7 Great British pounds. Have at it. That's totally proof that I'm real.
Yeah,
and obviously,
totally.
it didn't even stop there because apparently fake Owen got her a job at Warner Bros. Where she could supposedly earn $5,000 a month for liking social media posts. She even got...
That's not how things work.
a few $10 payments on Cash App for the training. But I guess the scammer was so committed that they got a genuine realtor to call her about a house in her neighborhood. And that realtor dropped the name of someone the family knew. Someone not publicly linked to them online, which freaked everyone out. So clearly, we got some FBI level commitment over here for a Yahtzee romance scam.
Now, did that escalate quickly? Wow. Jesus Christ.
Scammers, if you're watching, your work ethic can be used elsewhere. At this point, it's kind of ridiculous. Why are you doing this? Obviously, I get it's for money, but let's find a more productive way to make some money. But either way, it's pretty pathetic to be deep faking Jennifer Aniston and begging for Apple gift cards. That's a new low. But unfortunately, scammers are just gonna get more sophisticated, so let's stay alert here. But I mean, hey, at least they didn't start up a influencer management company and raise $11 million and end up in massive debt and owing creators close to $2 million like this company did. And that's just a wild story I would recommend checking out here. But other than that, if you're new here, feel free to subscribe and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Yeah, the V Jojo drama was wild. Really wild, man. Oh boy. Boy, oh boy, was that wild. Ow. Yeah. Ow. I think I'm a thing. I will call it a day. Yesterday took a toll on me. And last night was horrible. I think I slept 5 hours. Something like that. I basically went to sleep at 3 a.m. because I ate and drank things that I shouldn't have combined yesterday. So yeah. And I got annoyed by the guy that tried to get me banned. As if I wouldn't have... As if I wouldn't have anything else to worry about. Okay, yeah. If you like the stream, consider following, subscribing, liking, commenting, whatever is possible on your platform. And the plan is to stream again on Wednesday. We're gonna start playing Half-Life 2. Because I'm done with Opposing Force. That's just... Opposing Force is just pain. I guess I'll see you then. Bye bye.